All right, hello again, baseball people. 11:47 p.m. on the 20th of March, 2026, and it's just a great time of year. Not only is it baseball season, but this is when we get just tons of baseball seasons come or baseball games coming out and stuff like that. So we have payoff pitch beta 3 to look at. We're not going to look at that tonight, but we have that. Of course, Pocket Pennant Run just dropped an update. Although I'm told that people are getting some errors with it, I haven't gotten any. But apparently it has to do with merging databases. So if you are getting errors in your game, just merge the databases and you should be fine. Baseball Mogul came out the other day. Out of the park, rolling along. Action PC, rolling along. So all kinds of great stuff going on. So I thought tonight we would look at the latest update dropped by Richard and Dombrov Baseball. Yep. But yep. Happy. The new Dombrov has the exact same GUI, but the update is free. Yes, and there's Aaron Reed, so Samuel Smith and Aaron Reed joining us early on here. We'll see whether we can get into a bit of a Chinwag and stuff. If you look down in the thing, I want to get into later on after we look at this. Something we haven't talked about is not. We're always talking about the games and about what we do in this crazy hobby. But I thought tonight would be really interesting to talk about sort of what what baseball simming, I guess, does for us. What do you find it for you? Is it we'll get into that as far as oh, it's there's all kinds of different things. So we kind of want to let it maybe kind of go organically a little bit. But in the meantime, let's look at Dombrov Baseball Sim. So there's been some changes, and again, this is a very very good baseball game. Played through a few games earlier, and what I realized, and I am going to show it more in the channel, but if you're wanting to live stream baseball games, I've just come to the realization that this is a game that if you do live stream it, it's not exactly friendly. You have to meet the game on its own terms. As a baseball game, just in general, I think it's a very very good game. It's very very powerful. I've done a couple videos on this. We'll talk about some things about it. Richard added in some nice quality of life improvements that help people. They're gonna help people with things like color coding, just like why the batters have, why are some blue, why are some yellow, red, green, whatever, and we'll talk about that. Also, just why I think this is a very very good baseball game. It's done by one developer, and I think Richard's really really done a good job on this. I really do. And oh yeah, the other game, of course, Strategy Baseball. I hope to upload that tomorrow night, but I'm having some correspondence now with Crash, so I want to see where he is on that before we take that next step, because there's still some things that, hopefully updating with the colors, because I really want the demo that we're going to be putting up on the McGreevy Discord to be something that people are going to have fun with and be able to offer some constructive criticism, also talk about some positives of the game and some things that maybe they would like to see for future development. But Crash is really working hard on the game, and I'm very, very happy about that. All right, so let's talk about it. So we're going to go into so I had to scale the fonts up, and it wasn't scaling the fonts up, it was increasing the size of the fonts. So there's still no font scaling in this game, um, but I'm used to it, so I know that this is league and season tools, for instance. When I click on this, and this is kind of the heart of the game after you get your seasons in or whatever. Is sort of, oh, I forgot too. Digital Diamond Baseball. I reinstalled that. We might even do a Digital Diamond game tonight if nobody feels like talking. We'll see. But anyhow, you can really, really get very, very deep in this game. And so I think for people that are wanting to get into some deep baseball simulation, this is a really good game to do so. This game is not for the casual baseball gamer. So whereas whereas Baseball Mogul is really good, and especially if you're new to this hobby, I think Baseball Mogul is a real good entry point. We did talk about that the other day. This one is not. In fact, I would, if somebody said I want something a little bit more, a little bit more intense, then I would steer them toward Action PC Baseball. And if they still want more, it'd be Out of the Park Baseball. This is beyond that. This one is not meant for the casual simmer at all. I would never recommend this as somebody's first game because there's just so much going on in here, and I applaud Richard for that. So, I mean, you can see here, just right now, we're just in the rules and settings, and these are all changeable for whatever kind of league, that you're doing. So you can choose ballpark effects, year effects, defensive eras, which is pretty cool. Pitcher stamina rule, nothing, but moderate pitcher stamina rule. The yellow X injury rule, which has to do with Sports Illustrated Baseball. And remember, this program is a digital adaptation of Sports Illustrated Baseball that does really a lot more. Do not cause errors from outs. I don't think I would ever check that. You can have special error results. Maybe let's check that. We'll see if we ever run into those. We play some games. Auto outs for outfield position. Some of these things I'm not sure what they all do, but it's all right. Minimum roster size, all that kind of stuff. Here's where you can import games, free agents. You can assign parks here, team logos, especially if you're playing older seasons. Sometimes this doesn't do the best job, so I'm not going to do this right now. I have the sound. I'm not running anything through the sound, so if you hear any little echoes, it's just because you're hearing it from the speakers here. You can get really deep into pitcher rest for relievers, for however many innings they've pitched, and up to how many days. Relievers max innings pitch. You can set this to wherever you want. You can set rest defaults. You can also do default defensive and error ratings for out of position players. All of this you can change. And I've not. Hey, Bernie, welcome in, Bernie. I've never seen a baseball game go this deep, just in this. I mean, they're using defensive eras. And so it's baseball even broken down into sort of defensive eras. So this is nice. And I think checking this if you were doing especially a dead ball game is going to even increase the accuracy more. Over here is of course just basic kind of gameplay lineup rules. You can do the minimum batter's face and the ghost runner, which you'll never see me turn on. For computer manager settings, you can factor actual usage. You can ignore scheduled lineups if you want. That's just all of these rules and settings, right? We're going to click yes. Then we can go in here to profiles, make any changes to league names, league ID, year effects, or division names for season. For this season, which happens to be the all-time All-Stars, there's a ton of seasons for this game, all free. Click Save when complete. So this is pretty much changing everything. Right now, this is set to 1950 in the American and National League. You can change this. The Negro League All-Stars are also in here. There's a team of Negro League All-Stars somewhere in here. Yeah, there they are. There's 2 Negro League teams, which is really, really cool. You can view and edit year effects for each league. So you could have the American League in 1970, the National League in 1922, and the Negro Leagues 1930, and all that kind of stuff. You can import teams. You can create teams even from this screen. So if you wanted to throw in a ringer, either way, you can do that. Let's go to leagues and divisions. This is basically where you can just realign teams into divisions and leagues and stuff like that. So, for instance, I could select the Baltimore Orioles, and then right now they're in the American League East, but I can put them in the National League West if I want to. So nothing big time there, just kind of fun if you want to mix things up. This thing has a really, really good schedule. Everything that you download for Dombrov Baseball does have a schedule in place, even what if leagues like this. But you can certainly, you know, you can add more games. You can use retro sheet schedules. If you're using retro sheet schedules, just make sure that they're going to match up with what retro sheet has. You can set up tournaments in this game. You can have retro sheet lineups. So, like if you set up a tournament, so there's already this says here there's already a schedule already set up for ATAS would like to set up a tournament for the season, and you can toggle back to scheduled games later if desired. So, which is really, really cool that you can do that. You can go back and forth. Hey, there's Sports Time Machine. Sports Time Machine, I stopped by there. I was going to watch an Atlanta Braves game that you were going to have there, but what I saw in there wasn't baseball, so I thought maybe you were just testing your software and stuff. So popped over here, thought I would just get on and go. But yeah, definitely, Mike, would like to have you on again anytime you want. So, guys, this is really, really a powerful game. There are some negatives, and I'm going to get into those. But it's a good game. It's a good game. We can go into the schedule report. You can see everything here. Of course, it's a balanced. In other words, 81 road games, 81 home games, stuff like that. This has a draft module. I'm not going to do anything right now. But if we are in the draft. We're just going to just click yes for this right now. How many draft rounds do you want? Is going to be snake. Free agents, there's going to be a protected draft. And then when you start to set up the draft, that's where you kind of get into that. But we're going to cancel out of that because I don't want to draft from this league right now. And finally, we go to tools. And again, you can see, again, a plethora of choices here. Back up your season, export season. Paul would like this. Export season to Excel. So this is a game that should be able to work with Baseball HQ. So Paul, if you catch this later, I know for you, you might be coming on. Who knows? It's getting near 7 a.m. there in Cyprus. You can, of course, import seasons, optionally including ballpark effects and year effects. Delete seasons, copy seasons. You can also create seasons manually. You can create a season workflow from a local database. So you could take something that you're using in another game that can export in something that this game can read. So I'm thinking like Pocket Pennant Run and bring it in here. This is super, super cool. Create season baseball reference website. So this is most suitable seasons before 1951 and 2020 to most recent. So good for older baseball. What's neat about this is it goes beyond the Laman database, which is right here. But this is cool because it's going to bring in all kinds of things also per position. So Richard doing something really cool and with this game, and he always has, is so having trouble trying to log in on Discord. Don't know why, Arnold. It should work. Everybody else I've been giving that to has been. So just friend me, Arnold. If you're on Discord, it's Beatles Eternally, and then I'll get you in there. That we'll have to just do it that way. I don't know why you're having issues with it, but we'll figure it out. All right. And there's Dwayne Martz. How you doing, Dwayne? Good to see you. So then, of course, you can draw from the Lemon database if you want, and also import teams from an Excel spreadsheet advanced. But I really like that you can work with baseball reference on this kind of thing. Okay, so lots of stuff that you can do. We're going to go ahead and close out of this right now. Very easy to, of course, if we go up here to the team management profile. This is going to be, we're going to be able to use logos. So right now we're just in the basic, and see, Dwayne comes in, and there come the Braves. So this is where you can set your colors, anything that you want. I've disabled the anthems in here because they're so bad. So there you go. So this is where you can, of course, set ballparks. And as you can see here, so all these ballparks also reflect park effects for that park in that year. And so everything, of course, in chronological order. And then the 999s, God knows what that means. I've never gone up that far. But you have, like, not necessarily that you're going to have the images, because I don't know that there are actually any images of Haymaker's grounds even extant, or the Jefferson Street grounds, for instance. But if you were playing dead ball baseball and you wanted Exposition Park, but you wanted it in 1901, click that and you got Exposition Park and its park effects, right? So, which is really, really nice. Of course, here's team logos. Very, very easy to just change that. You just click up here, go to wherever you have your logos. I have all my stuff, and this is all in Dombrov Baseball Sim, but I can also go into my DK Sports directory or whatever, which is really, really nice. By the way, speaking of ballparks, one of the things I hope to show you tomorrow night, and I'm sure you guys have already seen it in the videos, in Payoff Pitch Beta 3, guess what? Real ballpark pictures now. That game just keeps getting better and better and better, and yep, I'm going to buy it. Just going to have to chip away a little bit at a time at the seasons, but love it. So you don't have to do this right now. Back to Dombrov baseball, but you can decide that this team is going to be computer managed or human managed. So in this game is unique in that you can just right off the rip say control 3 different teams as a human manager, and the computer will take the rest. But also in game, you can also change that about too. AP, great to see you. AP looking forward to. He's looking forward to Payoff Pitch. That's going to be released sometime in April. I think we all are. We had to get over the shock of but we did. So we were talking about these park factors here, or many of us did. So here we go. So we're in of course, this is not what it looked like in 1951. Obviously, not with that scoreboard, but it works. It's fine. So you get your home run factors, doubles, triples factor, just hits factors. If we go to park settings here, this is where you're going to set your positions. Now, this is where I have to mention that I wish that Richard had worked on this a little bit more. So you would think that you could just like grab and drag around. That's not the way it works. It's not the way it works. So if I go and I click on shortstop, I can only move horizontally and vertically, and I'm limited by that. So that's as close as I can get to having my shortstop ideally right here. I wish that he would have fixed that, but he didn't. Now you can also select the ballpark year from here and stuff like that, and you're going to see those changes reflected up here. And by the way, you can even edit results and things like that in this game. So for those of you that like open engines, this is about as open as it gets in any game, that you can actually go up and change these results that are going to come up if you disagree with them or whatever. It's almost, hey VL, been a while since I've seen you. Payoff may come out. It's great to see you, VL. It's been a while. It's been too long. To hear the non-Steam version be allowed to choose what season we want. That seems to be the rumor, Mike. Ironic that I'm doing this one. I love this game. There's still some issues I have with it that I'll get into. But again, I'll repeat what I said at the top. This is not a game that I would introduce a new player into baseball simming. I would say go get Baseball Mogul, and then just see what a digital baseball sim's like, and then go on to things that have a little bit more flexibility. And yeah. So you figured out how you move those positions. If you can figure out how I can move the shortstop a little bit better than just being limited to the X and Y axes, I would love to know how. I would love to know how, because I can't get the shortstop where I want him, and he's already kind of too far out there for me, man. I mean, he's out there. I just hit vertical, and now I can't even get him back to where he was. So, yeah, got to click the arrows. So, I don't know what arrows you're talking about, man. If you're talking about these, and there we go. Now, see, that's it. I can't. There's really nothing I can do. He's kind of stuck out there. And the more I do this, the more stuck he remains. So I'm going to have to just close this, I'm going to click no. I don't want that to change. So let's go back in again to park settings and see what you're talking about. Okay, developer, you can choose seasonal non-Steam versions. Okay. Yeah, you so I am on these things, the down arrows. Yeah, um, so if I click the arrows and I go to shortstop, okay, there's my shortstop. Can I move him? The only way I can move him is just here and here. But I guess the point I'm trying to make, VL, is I can't move that shortstop further left. Now the third baseman's playing up on the line, so yeah, I could go to the third baseman and then just bring him over a little bit, and that looks better. For most parks, this works. But what I'm going to say, though, I'm going to go ahead and save this because I like it. It's on the edge of the slider. Yeah, you mean here? Yeah, these. Okay, and then I see what you mean. So for a little bit more, but I can't move the third baseman over anymore. Look, see, I'm clicking horizontal, horizontal, horizontal. But if I move over here, I can incrementally move my third baseman. We can incrementally move Eddie Matthews, but that's it. I can't move that third baseman over more. Hold it on, okay, and I am completely cranked to the right. And if I go to the left, see, so you don't have the freedom of movement. Okay, let's see. So third baseman's going all the way over into the stands because he sees some hot redhead over there. Okay, but if I go over here, I'm going to keep holding this. Let's see how far over he'll go. That's it. So then I have to move the slider. But if I move the slider back, it's going to move him again. See? This is when I wish you were on voice because I think I'm probably missing something. Yeah, yeah. Put the slider to the right, then do the arrow. Um, because I'd like to move him over some more because there's a couple parks in here that I haven't been able to move anybody. So like my pitcher, he's a little bit off the bump there. So I want to kind of move him to the right a little bit. And he's all right there. So that's fine. He moves way further. I'm going to have to. I know I'm obviously missing something here, VO. So I'll have to keep working on it. Um, but that being said, just make sure that any ballpark photos that you're using are pretty much straight on from home plate bottom, center field at the top. I did try to work with this game on a version of Ebbets Field that I have that's more first base line, and the game was just like, I ain't having it. So, but let me see. So you have to put the slider back. So blah blah blah. Da, 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 but he moves way further. All right, yeah, because I was able to get him to go all the way over here left field. So, but if I click here on third base again, maybe this will work now. All right, let me see. Oh, I get you. Okay. All right, so I figured it out. Got it. Okay, God forbid you have a position off the map because you don't know where. Yeah, try to find some pain in the ass. But now I get what you mean. So here would be the fix for this. So let's say let's experiment because that's what we're about, experimentation. Let's send him over to meet this hot redhead. He's going to go all the way over here. Okay. Now I'm going to choose another position. I'm going to go to first base. Okay. Then I'm going to go back. Now I see what you mean. Now I go to third base, and now he can continue. Oh man, thank you. Okay, that makes sense. Bit of a pain in the ass. Yes, it is. But now this is a little bit more doable. Nice. Okay. Oops, I'm messing with my second baseman. Get over there. I want my third baseman back. Get over here. Eddie Matthews is over there. He's getting a bit randy over there in the grandstands. Okay, so let me just slide this quicker. Boom, like that. So I've just got to pick different positions. I wonder if I do this. Pitcher, and then click third base. There we go. And then, all right, yeah, that works better. There. Okay, cool. VL, you are the man. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so a bit of a pain in the arse, but not so bad. Not so bad now that VL has come in to save the day. Because one thing I'm really anal about, especially with hitters, is I like these as lined up as I can get. As lined up as I can get. So, there we go. That looks a little cozier. Nice. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. We're going to save it. Nice. All right. Um, so down here it says you can. So here's what I was talking about with being able to edit. So click on chart column above for dice roll result, then choose the ballpark effect. So let's say I choose 20 or 19, right? I choose 19, boom. And then on a 19, this is what possible could happen, right? Single, double, triple, home run, whatever, da 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 da, fly out. If I wanted to change that, I'm going to leave it alone. But any one of these you can select. So if you don't want a dice roll of 35 to be a home run, right? If I click on that, I can change that to just a fly out. So um, lots of cool possibilities right there. Let's go ahead and close this, and I'm not going to save those changes. Thank you for that tip on moving players. Jeez, that's nice. All right, let's go to lineups. So there's your lineups. You can save lineups. You can make new lineups. You can name them what you want them to be. There's 4 default lineups with it right now, which is really really cool. You can click the position of the player, move them up and down where you want them in the lineup spot. So just right there. So pretty nice. And then you can go to actual lineups, whatever. There's no actual lineups in this one or not. Yep. Literally had the creator tell you how to do it. Yeah. So I wasn't even expecting this, man. I got home from work, VL, and because I've been getting bombed with baseball stuff all over the place, and it was just like all of a sudden, hey, guess what? It's baseball season, and it was like finally Richard came out with this, and it is. It's so cool. All right, it's going to ask me if I want to save changes, and I don't remember what I did. Nope. So there's your roster. And what's really, really nice is we're going to be able to, we'll show you in game a lot of people wanting to know, this what the colors mean, and they actually do mean something, and they actually do mean something. So I think that I'm glad he added it, and you'll see it in game. You'll see it in game what's going on here. Okay. You can trade players. You can protect them in the draft. You can activate, inactivate. You can look at a player's profile. I didn't pick one. Let's pick Johnny Ray. And there's Johnny Ray. And you can choose another player. Now, what's really cool about this is, so this is showing just the Pirates. But if you wanted to, and you were just, you were like wanting to change images, you were trying to do whatever, you could also do list all players. Now, it's every player that's in the active season right here. So let's go to Cracker Shock. There he is. I could choose a different player image for him. I can use the baseball reference player image, which I don't know if this is it or not. I can look at, I'm not going to look at data for him, but I can look at the editor. And yes, you can edit here. You can even edit his chart. You can edit his card. So you've been on, Richard. It's Richard Dombrowski. She removed that awful artwork, and I had to. I just made it straight up green. There's like a green grass that's okay too, but I'm gonna look into the coding and see if I can add my own backgrounds. But so think about this, guys. This game you can play this as you can roll the dice and manually enter the results. You can play it with the player charts, or you can play this purely as a digital baseball sim. And how open is this? So you can go up and change the dice roll results of anything you want. So if you feel, no, this is wrong, go ahead and change it. Again, it's like we just did with the ballparks, right? So we'll click on 17, right? And then 17 for Cracker Shock right now is, some sort of hit, whatever. And then we can change it to any one of these things. Any one of these things. So you talk about an open-ended game. How much more open can you get than a game that says, okay, there you go. Why don't you just go ahead and you can change the dice roll result. So, Richard, that major props for guys that want to go in and you want to tinker around and stuff like that. And by the way, if you don't have Sports Illustrated Baseball, don't worry about it. If you got Pocket Pennant running, why don't you? The dice are right there. So you could play it that way. Or Again, as I've said before, you can find blank dice on eBay. Get yourself a nice Sharpie. Make your own Sports Illustrated dice. It's worth it. Let's go ahead and close out of this. So if we look at charts for the players, we cannot blame Richard for this. Okay, because this is a translation of Sports Illustrated Baseball, these unfortunately are the colors. Whatever they were doing there at Avalon Hill, this is like really bad, and I'm sorry if you're red green colorblind, because you're going to be screwed. So what does this all mean, right? Because people were asking before, Richard added this into the legend now. So if a batter's name is in red, he's a lefty. If it's in green, he's a righty. And if it's yellow, he's a switch hitter. Okay, and so we are looking at the White Sox right now. There's no switch hitters in this. Okay, and you can also kind of figure out, too, what's going on. So if a play result is in red, it's not good for the batter. If it's in green, it's good for the batter. And if it's a yellow, it's a walk. And if it's a blue, it's a strikeout. So this is a great way for you to kind of learn what the color coding means in the game. And there's really not a lot. Also, you can see here, sacrifice fly and all that kind of stuff. But with this game, you just got to play it. Okay? Player cards are beautiful. So I should add here. I may plan on uploading this weekend. Yes, we found a few things I called Crash's attention to that I'm hoping he will work on. Little bug here, Richard. I know Richard doesn't watch this channel, but because I had the Pittsburgh Pirates selected, it thinks Luis Aparicio is now a Pittsburgh Pirate, but he's really not. He's really not. If we just scroll up and down here, he's not here. Okay, so no worries. No worries, no worries, no worries. Let's look at the great one here, and let's look at his card. And again, Luis Aparicio actually isn't in here. But we can see, Nidius Harold Baines, it still thinks we're in the White Sox. So let's close out of this. I think we got ourselves a little bit of, and that's okay. That's all right. Let's go back in here again. And once we close out, and let's just pick the Pittsburgh Pirates again. Okay. And let's look at their cards. There we go. So the original cards, yes, there is a list of updated features, and it's long. It's a long list, and I'll put the link to it in the chat in a minute. Because if I read them all, we'll be here for like 2 hours. So do understand that there's a lot of the updates that have to do with the under the hood part of the game with the engine, but it's really cool. So this is not what the cards look like in Sports Illustrated Baseball. These are really, really nice looking cards. You got to admit, they're nice and clean. And I really, really like this. You even get like his chances. So we're looking at Smokey Burgess here for the Pirates. So we can see just right out of the rip, he's going to do a lot better against righties than against lefties. Here's all the possible dice results. Remember that it uses specialized dice. So this isn't like just you're rolling, this 10 to 39. Don't think that limits you, because it doesn't. There's all kinds of synergies that go into this game. But I love the fact that these cards look like, there's the great Max Carey. We were talking about this with Sports Time Machine the other night. What a phenomenal, these are his ratings up here as an outfielder, and you can see he could play every position, but center field was his thing. Again, one of the greatest center fielders of all time. And I like this. I really, really, really like this. We can look at probabilities for all of these players at a glance. So this was something that's been in the game a long time, and so it's not where Action PC Baseball is, where I can match pitchers and batters, but it's just generally, again, if we look at Max Carey, we can see percentages of hits versus lefties versus righties, and then his percentage for and Max Carey was not a home run hitter. I mean, compared to Clemente, and others, or let's say Ralph Kiner. So Ralph Kiner's numbers a little bit better than Max's, you might say. Percentage for a single, double, triple, percentage of walks hit by pitch, strikeouts, and all that kind of stuff. We could the stats, these will be tracked as you're playing, so nothing really kind of revolutionary there. But I am so happy that he put this color coded legend in there, because you would think that somebody just let their 8-year-old kind of go nuts here. But this was the way it was in Sports Illustrated. What I think would be nice, no, you can load any picture you want, and there are night games. You just are going to have to load ballpark pictures, and there's an area where you work with ballparks. So yes, you can. VL, you can have night games in this. So anyhow, what else do we look at? We looked at charts probably. We can switch over to pictures here, and we can see all the things that are going to go on here. Show you what pitcher cards look like. Hopefully, let me find a pitcher card here. Or do I have to go back out of here again? It's like let me close this, and let me go to pictures. There we go. And let's bring up Vern Law, and let's look at Vernon Law's card. And of course, I have to bring up this way. I've got to find Vern Law. Where is he? Or just a pitcher anywhere. I don't care. Pitchers. Duh. There we go. Babe Adams. There he is. There's Babe Adams. And again, so imagine all of these cards. How many times have you said, I don't know, I don't agree with that. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't, or you've trusted, the ratings that Strat has done or App has done. But why not try your own? And you can. But there you can see in each dice roll what Vern Law is going to deal with, right? And you can export all of this to Excel. So click to export the player's card to an Excel spreadsheet with a separate tab for each player. It can be used with Excel and other spreadsheet programs such as Open Office. So for you guys, for those of you that don't want to buy Excel, you don't have to. It'll work with Open Office. However, Open Office won't work with Pocket Pen Run Baseball or some other games. So you can claim free agents. Let's close this. You can do things like create a player for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I can create him manually, so I could put VL in here. I could put Aaron Reed in here, whatever. So you can actually just create players, and maybe we'll do that some night. Maybe we'll do a family. We'll make 2 teams in the family, and we'll make sure have a lot of fun with that. Okay, and again, we can do this for everybody, and I really like this. Again, the charts. This is going to be the way to understand the game a bit more, but the other way to understand the game is just play it. All right, let's close out of this now, and let's close out of this. Also, props to Richard. Let's go back to this again. I want to give him props for this one as well. And each screen, so here we are on the roster screen. If you go over here and click the blue question mark, it's going to take you right here to that rosters tab. And it's going to tell you everything that you need to do, that you need to understand on there. As far as to trade a player, right, all this stuff. And so every page has this. We go ahead and close this, which he fixed this. Sometimes when you would hit close, it wouldn't close. So it did. So let's close out of here, and let's look at, did we look at League Season Tools yet? I don't remember. Yes, we did. Oh, well, yes, we did. This is like the big sort of boom. All right. League reports. This has some pretty good reporting. So you can choose to choose as one league, show by league. You can build a website from it. And let's go ahead and, we're not going to we can't maximize it that way. We have to maximize it this way. But that's okay. And you're going to get your team versus team again as you're playing. This is going to give you team stats and breaking them down all the way. So do you guys remember the Neft and Cohen baseball encyclopedias? This is, I think, I don't know whether this was on purpose by Richard or not. But this is very much so. So the way Neft and Cohen broke it down is you would have it would be by season, and then it would show every player in that season, and then later on you get the register of his career, which I always liked that approach, and I always wish the Total Baseball in its time would have adopted that. So as this goes along, you're going to see these stats start to fill in, and I really like that because I have great fondness, and I have a couple of the old Neft and Cohen encyclopedias. I think the last edition came out in 2006, I think it was. Again, hit this, and there you go. You've got it. If you're ever in doubt, hit that blue question mark. Okay. Where are we? Okay, so there's your league stats. Again, everything broken down here. This is going to be showing batting, pitching leaders. Game results will be here. Notable games, and you can show game logs by team or by player, and you can also set that criteria. And that's a pretty damn nice list here. So if you're going through, you're halfway through your project, or your 50 games into your project or whatever, were there any hitters that had 6 or more RBI? Boom. So maybe what we'll do is what we do with strategy baseball. And again, so we get down here to the Mets, for instance. Now we can just look at game logs for the Mets, or we can look at individual players. So maybe we want to see what Sid Fernandez did, and then we can set that criteria. All right. And again, go up here just to remember. Okay, cool. Nice. Let me see. And then injuries. Well, injuries, right? Okay. So let's go back to our standings and all that kind of stuff. All right. Now, let's go ahead and close this. And remember, don't hit this button up here. Never, don't. This is like strategy baseball. Don't exit out. Close. All right. Setting up. Here's your settings and preferences for global coming up. And first thing I did is I went to sounds, and so you see the sound files in here. You can actually put in your own sound files into this game. But also, if you get this game, and by the way, there's a free to try version of this you can download, and most of it is functional. So much the same way that Crash Davis is doing a strategy baseball, Dombrov baseball, almost all of it works. So you have nothing to lose but a bit of hard drive space, guys. Give it a try. Again, it's for content creators. This is not a friendly game, and you'll see what I mean. But for playing a baseball game, I think it's really good. But I got rid of the anthems because that organ sound was awful. I'm either going to put my own in by playing them, or I'm going to find better renditions. But you can do playlists, and so you can go out and you can find files, and it's going to play them, and you can decide how many seconds up to a minute, for each sound file is going to be that you want. So click on a row to choose a different sound. Right click to play a selected sound. Remove a selected sound. One click and delete it. You can also randomize playlists. So if you're into that sort of thing, you can. Let's go to gameplay though. So again, now we are in which you can see. You'll see this in game. So show player images with results. I always leave that on. I do not use the speech engine, but Aaron Reed, this uses the Microsoft Narrator. Single click mode, I leave on. I don't have gameplay sounds on. I don't like them. I'm sorry. So I don't really use a lot of that. You're going to have to experiment with the player result delay. Okay. So I've Dombrov, just haven't played in a while. Okay. You can do dice roll sounds. You can also do manual dice rolls. So if you have the Sports Illustrated dice, or if you want to use the dice from Pocket Pennant Run Baseball, or if you found a customizable dice roller out there that you can click on, and you understand how the dice rolls work in Sports Illustrated Baseball, just roll them manually if you want. I like the animation speed faster. You only have 3 choices. I do like a full-size playing field. You don't have to have that. Play-by-play, really 14 and 15 for me work. You can set your background color, foreground color, things like that, okay? Your reports, things like that. I don't know what a condensed box score is. I don't really care. Right now, I have the manager set to do everything because I still like to play with this. The only thing I like to do here is confirm or overwrite computer manager lineup changes. I do like to leave that on. But this is one of those things seasoned to taste, right? Now, you cannot scale. This is one of the things that I was hoping he would change and he didn't. There has to be a way to make this menu larger and centered. I don't get, I'm still not happy with this. This is a lot of real estate being wasted, and people should be able to scale up or scale down. If you have a low res monitor, not a problem. Mine's like a regular monitor, but guys that are playing like on 4K monitors and stuff, you're going to be looking at like little ants marching and stuff like that. And if you try to crank up the font sizes, when you get to the baseball game, you're going to see text cut off. And in fact, you'll see that even on that main screen that it's there. So I'd really, really, really hope that he was going to work on the UI, but he didn't. But he made some nice changes. Okay, you want to get rid of the I'm going to show you the original, and you'll see why I got rid of it. Let's go to the yeah. So this is the current backdrop. The other backdrop is really really bad. Where is it? 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 I wanted to make it go away. I did make it go away. Thank you. Backdrop. So these are the backdrops. Now, luckily, these backdrops are JPEGs. So what I think I'm going to do is do a bunch of kind of cool baseball images. Because here's why. Okay? This was the one, like, this is really just, I don't know what he was going for that. He said the idea sounded good. So, you can barely read it. So that is a problem. So Richard, not a knock. It is not a knock, but you really got to work on scaling on this. And I can tell you from experience now with people playing Pocket Pennant Run that scaling has been an issue for people with low res monitors. They can't see everything on the screen. The opposite's going on with yours. So those of us with higher resolution monitors, and I'm not blind, I can read this with glasses and without, but it's hard to read. But because these are JPEGs, guys, go out, find some JPEGs. You want to put in a nice baseball image, you want to, and it's easy to put it into a freeware program and mess with the transparency. If you want, guys, I'll make some fancy stuff and put them up there. But I never liked this. Never, 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 never. Can't stand it. The grass is okay. But it's still a little bit hard to read. So what I decided to do was just go with good old dark green plain. Okay. And then you can change your hover color, text colors to whatever you want. So if I wanted the hover color, and maybe I wanted to look more baseballish, there we go. Now we got it in yellow. So nice little touch there. Pretty good. And then player screen's hover color could stay the same. Whatever you want. Let's save them. Close. So your text size, you only have larger, default, and smaller. That's not enough to scale. You need a little bit more for scaling. And maybe the easy way to do that is to be able to define the fonts in here, and then, just like in any Windows program, right? And then just that size. I think that would be a really, really, really good thing. Let's go ahead and save it. Let's close this. All right, now let's talk about seasons in this game. And I found a little trick that I didn't realize that I could do. All right, maybe just has bad taste in art. Well, but thank God they're JPEGs. So you can bet I'm going to be putting in some different backgrounds till I find something that I like. But I'm going to be like finding the images, but then I'm going to process them in things like Canva. Because Canva's very, very, very powerful. All right. Let's go to League and Season Tools because there's a lot more to look at here. So the first thing we're going to look at here is import season. Now, let's go to, we're going to do Dombrov website. Now, here's the thing that I had trouble with before, and I was like, man, this kind of sucks. So I don't know what season I want to put in. I don't know what's all available. I could go to the website and look, but let's just say I'm just going to do 1970, right? But I can, then from here, if I press that enter key, right, I can go back and change this after I see if 1970 isn't actually there, which it is. But let's find a season that is not here. So like 1926 is not here. So I could just do, or I say, all right, or let's talk about the seasons that are here. So I see, oh, okay, this is a great way to look at the seasons without going to the website. I'm like, oh, geez, he's got 1936. So all I'm going to go back up here is cheat and just do 1936 because now I know it's here. And I go down here and it's just this easy. And by the way, look at all that is available for this. And remember, you can create your own teams as well, okay? Or create your own leagues as well. All right, so we're going to pick 1936. Boom. And it says where I like it to make the active season. And I'm going to click no for right now, okay? So there's that, okay? So you can see that you can get to different things in different ways, okay? Exporting a season, for instance. So we export a season. We can pick one of our seasons that we have installed to export, and we can export it. You can also export a season to XL, Paul Fay. So Paul would like that. And again, so if I wanted to take 1976, I can choose here to do one XL file with a tab for each team, or I can do it as team files. We'll export a separate XL file for each team in the season. Nice touch, Richard. Really, really, really good. As more and more baseball games are getting kind of this interconnectivity, I think Richard Dombrov did a great job there in allowing this to happen. Okay, we talked about create season manually. I've never tried this manually. I've usually just worked in these workflows. But this is where you could actually start doing things like a McGreevy type league or a Diamond Legends league or something like that. This is a great way to do that. There's a workflow local database. So data used by Dombrov Baseball sourced from Lyman database. And then click to proceed with the workflow. So season creation in this thing is done by workflows. So if we go to a baseball reference website, and if I would click OK, I can download. I'm just going to download it. Click download. So we're just going to click it download, and then Lyman database has been successfully downloaded, and boom. And then remember though, this is going to be actually going to. There's all the seasons. Remember we were missing some seasons. Well, they're all in here. So if I would want to do 19 whatever, let's pick. I don't know what. I don't know. We got to find a season here. Any one of these is going to start taking us through a workflow, and you're gonna have to check off things and stuff like that. We're gonna do a separate video on that another night. All right, but this is very, very easy to. If you saw some seasons that were missing, you're like, oh shit, he doesn't offer it. Well, then just do this, and you got your season. Okay. Then you can also import teams from Excel. So we already saw that, and there we go. So, but this is really nice, this Create Season Baseball Reference website. Create Season workflow using data from Baseball Reference website. Lineups and schedules are obtained from RetroSheet. Locally installed Lyman Baseball Reference database is used, but only for determining versus left versus right splits. And then it also is going to bring in all the data that you find on Baseball Reference for each position in the field. Okay, and I think we already went over so all this stuff. Just play around with it, right? Play around with it. This game really, really, really invites experimentation. Okay, now let's go to set active season. Pretty simple. Any season that you have installed, whether it's been created or whatever, they're all right here. So 19. Did we do that one? Oh, I actually didn't bring it in. But if I did, it would be in here. Let's actually do it so you guys can see it. All right. So let's go to League Season Tool again, and let's go to Tools, and let's go ahead and import a season. And Dombrov website. We know 1936, though there's probably more exciting seasons to do, but that's okay. Let's just bring in 1936. All right, and so back in the way back machine here, Mr. Peabody. Boom. And let's override. Boom. Okay, there we go. And would I like it? Yes, I would like it to be the active season. Let's close it. So my active season right now is 1936. I will know this because it's going to say 1936, 1936. But I can change that active season by just doing this drop down here. So we have 1908, 36, 70, 76, 2015. There's a bunch of all-time all-stars. So the ATAS Oldies, for instance, for those of you who may have played Sports Illustrated Baseball, this is the Sports Illustrated Baseball set. So we close, and now we finally, I hit the wrong close button there. You'll excuse me for that. Let's bring it back up. I also turned off the intro music. All right, let's go to an exhibition game here. So you can play schedules and you can play exhibitions. So let's say we have the New York Giants and New York Yankees. It brings in the proper logos. And, geez, who do we got? Christy Mathewson versus Whitey Ford. This is going to be fun. VL, thank you for coming in. He says, when I get back into baseball sims, probably Action PC right out of the park. On sale. All right. Excellent, man. Well, they're both on sale right now, but yes, I hope you do. Enjoy your tennis jag. Sleep well, buddy. So we can go into the game right now, and you can also select, before you go in, what ballpark you want to use. Okay. And that's so we could play the Giants versus the Yankees, and we could play them in 1923 Sportsman's Park if we wanted to do that. Okay, but let's go ahead and go into the exhibition game, Giants versus Yankees. Okay. Here's where you can change your lineups, things like that. These are both set to computer managers right now. You would select here, to just change lineups, things like that. Again, you have your save. If you have any saved lineups, you would. So we got George Burns, Freddie Lindstrom, Bill Terry, Mel Ott, Monty Irvin, George Kelly, Shandy Hogan, Buck Herzog, and Christy Mathewson for the Yankees. Willie Keeler, Tony Lazzeri, Babe Ruth, Charlie Keller, Joe DiMaggio, Bill Dickey, Nick Etten, Gil McDougall, Whitey Ford. And you're probably wondering, where's Lou Gehrig? Well, you can put Lou Gehrig in here if you want to. But we're just going to go with what we got. And let's play Giants versus Yankees. And that's right, no national anthem. So here we are in Yankee Stadium. And the way I have this set up right now is I want to be able to see the park effect, right, the park roll as I'm going along. But you can play this. You can have the cards up there if you want as you're playing the game. Or, after you look at the cards, close it, whatever. Also, you're going to get a guide to the cards and what these things all mean, as you can see here. Okay, so again, props. Oh, this is one of the ones you do got to hit the X. Okay, props to Richard for that. Okay, basically, so for we Action PC players, we'd like to be able to click on the player to get his stats. You can't. It's not the way you do it. So you do have to look at them through cards. All right. You can have this up there again. Look at the charts, or it's going to be available. If you don't want to play it this way, again, you can go into settings, in-game, so in-game settings now. You can play this as a baseball sim. You can use team charts, and you can use player cards. So we go to player cards, and we save. Now you're going to see the player's entire card up here. But that one click is gone. So this is going to be pitch, and, right, so pitch and bat. and Burns swings, and there's a grounder to Gil McDougald onto Nick Etten for out number 1. So he's worked on some of the animations. They are a little bit easier to see. The reason I'm not using player cards for this is because I do like to see, the result in terms of, because I'm not rolling dice or whatever. I'd rather see this with that ballpark, right, with the play result up there quickly. So I'm going to go back here to settings. Let me show you what it looks like as a baseball sim. All right, so baseball sim. There it is as a baseball sim now. Okay, so one click. Freddie Lindstrom up there. Whitey 4 deals. Lindstrom swings, and this one roller back to forward onto Nick Etten. Okay, now some of the animations a little bit slow. That could be just a little slow roller type thing. Let's go back to settings again. Animation speed is as fast as it can be, and sometimes it will go really fast. Let's turn off full size playing field. Let's see what it looks like. Pretty much we got what we got. Okay. The problem with full size playing field is everybody ends up there. So we know that. So and it's already, or when we turn it off. So right, save it, and everybody will be back where it's supposed to be. All right, here's Bill Terry. You get their ratings all the way over here, and 4 deals to Bill Terry, and fly ball. Joe DiMaggio pulls it down. So middle of the first, Giants, nothing, and the Yankees coming to bat, leading off. Wee Willie Keeler. Mathewson peers in, has a sign from Shandy Hogan. Here's the pitch, and Keeler sends this one bouncer back to Mathewson on to Bill Terry for the 1-3 putout. So there's the only Z plane animation you're ever going to see are going to be some bouncing ground balls. So it's still basically XY animation, but this is the best version now I've seen of this that I actually feel like I could call a complete game in this. I do have the sound turned off. I think, as we play games like Diamond Mine Baseball and Pocket Pennant Run and others, you don't need the sound on. You really don't to enjoy the baseball game. Here's Push 'em Up. Mathewson deals, and this one, fly ball, but Irvin is going to make the grab out there in right field. So 2 down for the Yanks in the bottom of the first, and brings up George Herman, Babe Ruth, Salt and a Swat, the Big Bambino. What, that stupid deer? Here's the pitch to Ruth, and this one, fly ball, little pop fly there to Bill Terry at first. So the Yankees go in order. We go to the top of the second. Giants and Yankees are scoreless. That's how the game works. You can also look at stats, charts, cards, probabilities for both the visitors and the home teams. Much clearer now. This is a big thank you, Richard, for this one. Better pictures, and also because he's increased the font size, so it's easier to see who's at bat, who's pitching. You used to have to put your nose up against the screen for this to see this. So it's a good game. It's not expensive. And again, you're not going to lose anything. Just try the, and I want to switch this back to the way I like to play it, by the way. And that's not as a baseball sim. I want to do this as, I believe it's team charts. Boom. There we go. So you're going to see the player results, and you're going to see them at the end as they happen here. Okay, so we got Master Melvin Ott due up. It'll be Ott, Irvin, and George High Pockets Kelly due up for the New York Giants. All right. And I guess I got to turn on one click again. I'm sorry. Where's one click? Where's one click? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Because I do know that it's in here. Because I like the one click mode. It's just I don't feel like pitch and bat and blah 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 and whatever. There it is. Single click mode. All right. And let's save it. And now we're back. So one click is going to resolve the play. This is sort of like just computer versus computer type thing. And here's the pitch. And Mel Lott cuts on this one. And Keller races back and makes the grab for out number 1. So sometimes you're going to get big fly balls, line drives, and base hits, triples, doubles. You really got to look up here. Other thing, don't make the mistake I did. If you make this font up here too large, you're going to miss a lot of the action. So I believe I have this set at 15. But if you want to make your own dice, you can see how the dice rolls work. And we can see here that this was, no, this is a fly out. Okay. Sacrifice fly, but it's just a fly out. There's nobody on. So it's going to take that, that roll of here and just call it that. Okay. Here is Monty Irvin, and 4 deals to Irvin. And this one is going to be, he hits this one in the gap and left, and Monty Irvin has himself a double. And there we can see the play result right here. This is refer to legends for refer to legends, legend, not Legend Sports Universe, but legend for detail. Okay, all right. And then again, just to remember their handedness. So Kelly, so Bill Terry, Mel Lott of the lefties, and then you got tons of lefties over here. All right, Whitey 4 deals and High Pockets Kelly fly ball out to Joe DiMaggio for the out. Now you could set this to average so you don't get that kind of boom. But again, I think for just playing a baseball game and all that, does it really matter? Because if you want that, play out of the park baseball, or Action PC baseball. Appa has no animation whatsoever. Pure Sim just has ball animation, which is a little bit better than this one. But I have to say, I'm really happy with what Richard's done here with this game. You've got an incredible game where you can, if you want open engine, man, you got open engine. You can change this thing, create seasons. It's got tons and over 100 seasons or 100 things you can download for this thing for free. So you pay one price for this, but again, you can try it for free. Most of it is functional. You can set up tournaments in this game, switch back and forth. Most of the ballparks and logos come with it, which is really nice. Gotta love that. You can use your own park effects, defensive errors, options out the wazoo. But now, all of that being said, this is not a game for somebody that's just starting out in baseball sims. They will run for the hills. If you think out of the park scares people, this one's scarier. It really, really is, and that's not a knock on the game. This is really this is a serious. I want to get my hands beyond dirty. I want to go filthy. And here's all the gameplay stuff. Now I'm not managing, but there's a good managing options in here if you want to use them. And again, this help file's amazing. It's really, 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 really good. They used to have the forums for this game. They're kind of been inactive. I think Richard would do well to start a Discord. It's free. Start a Discord channel. I don't know if there is one for this or not. So Samuel, when you talk to him, tell him I'm really happy about it, except for the interface still needs a bit of work. But the game looks crisper, clearer. I love to see. I love that I don't have to who the hell is that? Oh, it's Shandy Hogan. Just looks nice. Yeah. Big win for your Reds today. Beat the Red Sox 65 in extras. Good for you. Good for you. Good for the Reds, man. Waiting 4 deals to Shandy Hogan. And Shandy Hogan's going to drive this one, get down into left field for a base hit. So runners at the corners. Hogan at first, Monty Irvin at third. And here's Buck Herzog. And 4 deals. And this one is going to be fly ball left field. Babe Ruth has it in the glove for out number 3. Still no scores. We go to the bottom of the second. And Christy Mathewson will face Charlie Keller, Joe DiMaggio, and Bill Dickey. Mathewson deals. Keller swings. This one a bounding ball to High Pockets Kelly on to Bill Terry. So I know it's kind of a funny little animation, but I like it. I actually like it. So I didn't even have to look up there and realize that was just a 4-3 put out. So that was something this game needed. There's your play result. It's a ground out on that dice roll. And again, for those of you that know how to read the dice roll, well, there you go. Have fun with it. All right, here is the Yankee Clipper. It's also going to show you here what the player has done so far in the game. And Christy Matthews just worked 1 1/3, has not walked anybody, struck anybody, or anything else for that matter. Mathewson deals to DiMaggio, and DiMaggio, this one is going to be lined to third, and Freddie Lindstrom makes the grab. 2 down here, bottom of the second inning. Brings up the catcher, Bill Dickey. So again, you can look at Bill Dickey's stats anytime that you want. You can also override the one click over here. There's nobody on, but you can do certain things in the game that you want to do. If you want to go ahead and intentionally walk him, even though you're not managing, go ahead and do that. Let's go to settings, and who's the home team here? The Yankees. I'm going to switch to gameplay. All right, and let's save it. Okay. So now I got Bill Dickey up there, and I'm just going to still one click it for right now. Here's the pitch to Dickey, and this one, base hit, right field. So Bill Dickey aboard. Now, I wouldn't want to, but I could have Bill Dickey click for a stolen base attempt. Probably don't want to do that, as Dickey's only a 1 as a runner. So we're going to leave him where he is. But let me see, what do we got here? We got 2 outs. We're not going to try a sac bunt. We're going to go ahead and just do this. So Nick Etten swings, fly ball, center field, and George Burns has it for out number 3. So we played through 2, and we are knotted up at no score. Okay. Here's Christy Mathewson. All right. And here's the pitch to Matty, and Matty is going to bounce this one down to first base, and Nick Etten will take it unassisted for the out. So play-by-play is it's utilitarian. Why be uploading? Everybody's excited about strategy baseball. I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to try to be up tomorrow, earlier in the day, to talk to Crash to see if he wants to let that go ahead as the demo, because there are a couple more things that he wants to look into. I'm doing well, Rabid Wolverine, dude. How are you doing, man? It's great to see you. Showing off the latest update of Dombrov baseball, and I really like it. I really like it. Richard has taken, and I don't know if Samuel's been working as the go-between here or not, but a lot of the things that I've been asking for in this game, Richard has implemented, and I still suggest playing with the sound off. I'm having just as much fun with this game as the sound off. You never heard of this game before tonight? I don't know how long you've been in here, man. If you just came in, maybe later on you want to go back and check it out. This game has options upon options upon options, and as I was saying earlier, you can even edit player cards, edit player field effects, and just all kinds of stuff like that. So, pretty nice. Not sure what happens there when I do that. I guess nothing. All right, here's the pitch now to Burns. So Burns draws the walk. So we've got a runner on board here. Burns has some speed, so we could do this stolen base business. So, and when you do this, it's going to say his attempt to steal second. So you can play this if you want any level of management. If you want to manage both teams, you can. So he does have a steal success chance of 4, but I'm just going to click no. We're just going to let it go. And here is Freddie Lindstrom. Lindstrom in the game. He is 0 for 1. Here's the pitch by Whitey Ford, and this one, fly ball center field, and Joe DiMaggio makes the grab. Nowhere for Burns to go. 2 down now for Hall of Famer Bill Terry, who is 0 for 1. Ford comes to the set and brings it home, and this one is cranked out to right field. Open the window, Aunt Minnie. I think he hit this one clear into, I don't know which way Yankee Stadium faces. So let's just say that he hit it somewhere north of the Bronx or something, right? I mean, south. Let's see, no, southpaw. So south, north, right? So he hit it, yeah, somewhere far away, maybe into the ocean. So Giants take a 2-0 lead. Bill Terry goes yard. So 2 down, top of the 3rd inning. Here's Master Melvin Ott. And here's the pitch to Ott, and this is a bouncer. Pushima has it on to Nick Etten for the 4-3 putout. So that will end the inning, but the Giants, on a 2-run shot by Bill Terry, take a 2-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. So this game has so very, 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 very much to offer. It really does. And I really think you just change the background, Again, it's JPEGs, guys. Go out there, find some images you like that will work. Put them in there. You can change this game's backdrop. We're going to go ahead and quick play out of this game. Don't use spectator mode because it just zips and goes crazy. Let's just go remainder of the game and play it. And that's your game. So what do you get after the game? Well, you get your line score. The Giants beat the Yankees 7-3. Giants 7-12-1, 9 left on base. For the Yankees, 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors, and 4 men left on base. Then you also get your little your score sheet right here. Then you can actually look at the box score, see what everybody did, and then you can also output whatever format, either HTML or Excel. Again, Paul, Faye, this should make you happy. And let's go ahead and finish the game. Okay, let's close, and I'm going to switch my active season, and we're going to switch it to 2015 this time, and we're going to play some scheduled games. So let's go ahead and we're going to I know Cardinals Cubs, good stuff, right? So let's just quick play this, and there we go. Please confirm you want a computer quick play through selected game. Yes, I do. And it's unable to retrieve defensive error. Please run setup program. And we got a little crash. Probably something I did wrong there. And it's coming back up here and back down. So again, this update just dropped. That was either a bug or that was something wrong that I did. I'm not sure yet. I might have to set things up for this league, which I haven't done yet. Let me see. Let me see. I've used defensive errors. Let's turn them off since it's looking for them, and let's see if we fix that. Because that might not be a thing yet for that. Okay. Let's go to scheduled games again, and let's see if we can actually get through this one. And quick playthrough. And if it does it again, then it looks like we do have a bug or something. No, there we go, done. So we go back to the 5th, turn off defensive errors. We can go on this, and we can see here what Cardinals won this one 6-0. Wow. You can look at box scores elsewhere. Let's go here, and let's go ahead and quick play this first season. I just want to do some. Let's actually play the month of April. Okay. Now, and we can. I could have chosen to run this minimized, but I actually like to put a game through its paces to see how it handles. It's going to be a little bit slower. So we can start looking at some reportage and things like that. And yeah. So let's see how we doing. So yeah, everybody looking forward to strategy baseball, and I'm glad that you are. I just got to I got to make sure a crash is okay. It would be easy for me to just upload it right now, but if people aren't following these broadcasts or whatever, people are going, yeah, but I can't read this, I can't read that. I like to give him a chance to fix it, and all that. And then you guys can find more stuff. But I will have it up tomorrow night if Crash is cool with it. I really want him to be cool with it because he's trying to work out some game synchronization issues right now. So again, if you run this minimize, it's going to go a little faster. But I can click mouse on the progress window to stop quick. So I can stop this quick play anytime I want to, but I don't want to. What would be nice, that it's not necessary, would be with a lot of games you can see how the standings are progressing as you're going through. But that's no big deal. It's playing through a lot of games, and because of what this is doing and all the interplay that's going on in this game, it's a very complex baseball game. It's slow. I don't expect, and it's programmed a bit differently too. There's still nothing faster I've seen to do a season replay than Baseball for Windows. We would have already, I would have gotten 3 syllables out, and April would have been played. So it's getting there. So what are you guys playing right now? What are you looking for? I know you guys are looking forward to Strategy Baseball demo. I know that some of us are looking forward to Payoff Pitch. which will be hopefully showing tomorrow night. It's on beta 3. He's moving fast with it now. So I guess the scuttlebutt is if you buy it on Steam, you got it. You're just going to get the 2025 season with it. But if you buy it directly from them, you get to choose your season. So that's not too bad. That's not too bad. I'm still a little bit about the season prices, but that's okay. You know, you just make some priorities, I guess. And there's no other baseball games coming out this year that I'm looking forward to that I've heard of. So, all right, we're almost there. We're on the 27th of April in 2015. You can also restart seasons in this and things like that. So pretty cool. Next time I would just run the quick play minimize, but I wanted to see how this handles this. Great way to test for bugs. It's easy to do things minimize, but not when it's crunching like this. And this is a very fast computer I'm on too. There we go. All right, we're done with those, and we can see all these scores, and you can replay games if you want, but we're going to go ahead and close these. All right, and we are going to go to League Reports for 2015. And there, now we're starting to see. Let's first look at our standings here. So right now, American League East is going to be the Toronto Blue Jays. In the Central, it's the Tigers. In the West, it's the Mariners. In the East, it's the Mets. In the Central, it's the Brew Crew. And in the West, it's the LA Dodgers. Team versus team. Who has whose numbers or whatever. So basically, you just go, here's your team versus team grid, follow it across, follow it down, see how everybody's doing. So look at the Washington Nationals, man. They're 14-9. How about these guys, huh? Doing pretty good here. Let's go to team stats, see who's doing what. These are not sortable. These would be nice if they were, but this is, I think, is an HTML output, and that's fine. So you can look at your batters total, pitchers, and then all your batters versus lefties versus righties, pitcher fielding, catcher fielding, first base fielding. So when I'm telling you about one of the things I love about Dombrov baseball is also not forgetting that defense is a really super important part of the game. I mean, baseball is a defensive sport. Even when you've got crazy double-digit scores, it's a defensive sport. And I love the fact that it's going to break down and give you good fielding statistics as your game's going along. Okay? We can look at our league stats here. So this is all the team batting and everything like that. Again, I wish that this was sortable. I'd like to be able, but you've got to kind of go through and see, like, okay, who's hitting the most home runs here. So glance down, it looks like it's going to be New York Yankees, and then the Kansas City Royals at 23. My Pirates have hit 13 right now, 74 ribbies. The Tigers are doing it up with 130 RBI right now. Batting leaders. There we go. So early in the season, but Ryan Zimmerman with the Nationals with 13 doubles. Who's our home run guy? Big Poppy, Matt Carpenter, Bryce Harper, each with 7 thus far, and we just finished April, so off to a pretty torrid start for those guys. Even Ian Kinsler, Abreu, Yenis Cespedes, good stuff there, right? Here's your OPS leaders: walks, stolen bases. Josh Donaldson leading in runs scored. Kevin Pillar with 23 stolen bases for the. And you can also, your number of leaders, you want to set it, right now it's showing 10. Now you can do the top 25 if you want to do it. And there's lots of stuff going on there. And then we can also go to pitching leaders. And James Paxton right now with 5 wins for the M's. Who's the strikeout guy? Clayton Kershaw with 44. Andrew Miller with the Yanks just behind him at 40. Max Scherzer with 39. Trevor Bauer. Well, shutouts right now. A bunch of guys have 1. Porcello, a bunch of guys right now, obviously with just going through April. So some stats, as you guys know, not going to make a lot of difference. But already Kevin Herrera, Dylan Betances, and Juris Familia, and Javier Lopez with 7 saves thus far this year. Good stuff. ERA, too early in the season to really care. Clayton Kershaw's worked 43 innings, so on and so forth, yada, 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 yada. Let's go to game results. So you can go to these box scores. Nice, and the box scores are nice and clean. Nice little clean look there to the box score. Good and very readable. So Richard, thank you again. Very, very readable. Tigers 10-9 in this slugfest against the Minnesota Twins. Nice stuff. Nice stuff. So just at a glance, you can look at your schedule and go over here. Let's pick. I don't know. How about this Mets Phillies game? This is a Mets Phillies game, and so the Mets are 8-1, and the Phillies off to an 0-9 start. Yikes! 15-9 this game. There's Paul. Paul, this game could export all kinds of crap into Excel, man. So, this is Dombrov Baseball. This is the newest update to it. I'm very pleased with it. I really, really am. I've got to say he's really done his work. So, let's go ahead and close this. We have notable games. So, let's see. Too early in the season. But let's say, do we have any complete games right now? Yeah, we do. We do have some complete games here. There they are. We can't, there. And I just clicked, and we can look at these complete games. And there we go. Clayton Kershaw went 9, 8 hits, 9 strikeouts for him and a 1.55 earned average. No, this is not what I was showing the other day. The other day was strategy baseball. This is Dombrov baseball. You got to keep up, you Cypress Scouser brother of mine. So pretty cool, right? We could look at, let's look at the Phillies, and let's see what is. Give me a Philly here. I don't care. Let's look at Ryan Howard. So here are Ryan Howard's game logs. Pick a game. So let me show you what I did there. Let's just say here. Let's look at one where he did really fairly well. So went 2 for 5 here, Ryan Howard. Let's look at this game from the 27th of April 2015. And we can just go down here and look at this. I don't know why this is cut off here, but it's very readable, very, very nice. So I'll take it. It's fine. So Chase Utley there with 3. That was Ryan Howard. Ryan Howard with his 3rd double of the year, and we can see that Ryan Howard had 2 doubles in this to get to his 3rd. So along with 2 runs batted in, he fanned twice. So good stuff. Yeah, no, this version is really good. If you have the old version and you still have your serial number, go get this updated version. So let's close this. And so we're just looking for, so to split this up to make this easier, so we can first select a team, then a player. So let's pick another team here in 2015. Of course, let's go to the Pittsburgh Pirates, and let's see how Kutch is doing here. So Kutch, there we go. He went 3 for 4 in this game on the 29th, and that was against the Cubbies. So Buccos won this one. Edge the Cubs 3-2. They're doing better in 2015 than they're doing 0-2 so far this year, but long season. So 3 for 4 for Kutch on the day, but no RBI. So Pirates getting it done without Kutch doing any RBI. You can get out here also look at the Cubs. There's just so much. And Paul, there are so many ways you can export things in this game. It's pretty crazy. Let's see, what else could we possibly have here? Let me see. 5 or less hits by both teams. Nothing. Okay. Let me see. 9 or more strikeouts. There we go. We got some 9 or more strikeouts here. Clayton Kershaw had a 13 strikeout game. Let's see who that was with. So that was against the Padres. And they defeat the Padres 4-3. And again, we get down here, we look at Kershaw. Gave up 2 home runs in that game. Struck out 13, didn't walk anybody. Kershaw having, how much it cost you this time? I forget how much this, you can get the free version of this, Paul, to give it a try to see if you like it. And I should show you, we haven't even gotten to our main topic tonight. But I think this is pretty cool, that you can kind of set criteria for what you want. I don't think anybody's going to, let's try 4 more RBI. There we go. Holy moly, there. Look at Gene Segura had 6 RBI in a game. So let's look at this one. And this was an 11-7 victory over the Rockies. And yeah, man, pretty cool. Where's Segura? Where are you, dude? I know you're here somewhere. I'm blind as all. Oh, I'm looking at the Rockies. That's why. Duh. There we go. Look at that, man. 6 runs batted in an 11-7 victory. So responsible 6 of the Milwaukee 11 runs. Yeah, this is it's cool, man. He's done a great job. If you play this game though, turn off the sound. All right, close. Let me see. Whoa, wow. So there's our game results so far. And again, I don't know about you guys, but I like to sort of look through all these things and just kind of like sort of revisit games, and you automatically get an HTML file. It's done. I just picked one at random. Mariners at Astros 10-9 game in that one. Let me see what do we got here. What do we got here? So Chris Carter with a home run and Colby Rasmus, and also yeah, so good stuff. Just what you would expect. Let's go ahead and close this out. Again, I love the context-sensitive help for everything. Whatever screen you're on, you're going to get that. And you can, again, we haven't even tried to set up a tournament. There's so much to do in this game. It's ridiculous. I think this one new, Paul, costs $35. We can go down here and game results. We can filter by teams. So if I wanted to look at my Pirates there, I can see just what the Pirates have done thus far and trace things there. So we can pick the 7-3 game against the Brewers on the 18th of April. Yeah, and I have to go over here. I'm sorry. So that is kind of a little bit weird, but there we go. Boom. There we go. Oh, wow. Look at that slugfest. There we go. Man, these teams wrapped out 25 hits. So 7-3 in this one. I can get down here and see what my Buccos did. McCutcheon and Young Ho Kang each with doubles. And look at RBIs all over the place, baby. McCutcheon, Marte, Alvarez, Cervelli, I should say, and Jeff Locke. So while Paul's here, I want to show him really quickly. Look at this. The sound is grating. It's awful. The national anthem sounds like a funeral dirge. It's not even the whole thing. And the bat sound, it's just fun to play. It's fine for me. I would say, I mean, if you want me to put on the sound and do a couple innings, you'll hear what I mean. I'm not a fan of the sound of this game, but you can put your own sound files in it, and if you do that, then I would say turn it on. Richard has really poured his heart into this game, and we went quite a few years. Samuel, you've been playing this game for a long time, so you know that we went a number of years without an update, and then he came out with a whole new bang. And what was really cool that Richard did is, for any existing owners of the old Dombrov baseball, the new Dombrov baseball was free. It was free. But look at this, man. So, Paul, I can even export all these game results to Excel. So I can, all these reports, I can do show as one league or not, and these are going to go right to an Excel spreadsheet. Team versus team stats. You can choose what you want to export and export right to Excel. which is really, really, really cool. And this is not the only place where you can export things, by the way. He has done a great job. The only problem with this game is it breaks a lot of interface rules. You can also get to your folder structure in this game, which is really, really nice to access everything in here that you want to, which is real nice. He's done a great job. Richard was at one time a big out of the park or action PC baseball player. In fact, I have his all-time great franchise as a season or whatever, as a freebie. I got it a long, long time ago, and I have it in action PC baseball. Wire pin, yes, no, I know this is a simple fix, and this is the one thing about this game that I have been bitching about is all this wasted real estate and non-scalable fonts. This should be down here. This is breaking every rule of design. Do more here. Bring these down. Because I increased the font size, but you can see that these are getting cut off here. Okay, Paul, these league and season tools are pretty amazing, man. Pretty amazing what you can do in here. Copying seasons. Look, you can export a season to Excel. So I can take one of the seasons I have in here, like the all-time All-Stars updated or any of these. There's tons of seasons available for this, and export them and do an Excel spreadsheet, stuff like that. It's really, really, really just a lot going on in this game. God, again, there's so much to show, so much to show. Team management profiles in here, park effects. So all these ballparks, these are all these park effects. Look at this, man. This is really crazy. This really takes defense into account, which is really nice. Look at the Phillies. There we go. There's Citizens Bank Ballpark. Park settings. And there's your park settings. Set things up. And then just go have fun with it. It's great. So earlier it was asked, can you put night images in here? Yes, you can. I just click in park images, and I can find a night image of a ballpark that I went to. Now, unlike Action PC Baseball, you can't switch and have like a day mode and a night mode. So that's something you cannot do in this game. But yeah, you can put in any image you want to for a ballpark. Yeah, this is really, really good, man. I'm going to be playing this more on the channel, actually. The thing that you're not going to like about, well, it makes it a little harder as a content creator, is he's improved the ball flight animation, but it's still not where it should be yet for fly balls, but it's better. There's a little bit of a Z-plane going on here. The ball arc is a little weird, but at the end of the day, what are we looking for? And that's results. So Paul, up here, you missed this, but really quickly before you go, got to feed the animals. And lovely Mrs. Paul, I send her, say, besame, besame mucho. She's awesome, man. I hope I give her a laugh at least. You can actually, Paul, how the guys talk about open engine, closed engine? This game lets you actually edit what result you want on dice rolls, and that's not only for the ballparks, but for each individual player. And I love her too. And I love you too, brother. But so you actually not only get to see how this game figures out what it does. If you disagree with it, change it. This is like the ultimate open engine game. This is the only. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but are there any other games that allow you to actually change charts like this? I don't think there's any. Yes, you can edit players in a lot of baseball games, but to edit like park effects and dice roll outcomes, if you're, because this is a port of a cards and dice game that when it came out only had like 2 seasons. So Richard, excellent job. I was scoring this game a B+ before. This game right now is an A-. If you can fix this interface, I'll give you an A. It's not an S tier, but I'll definitely give this an A tier. This is right now an A-. So Thank you for putting these changes in. I think this is a worthy baseball game for people to play. It is not should not be your first. You know, don't make this your first baseball game though. I wouldn't recommend this to a beginner. There's too much going on in here. Start with Baseball Mobile, or Diamond Mind is although Diamond Mind is a deep game, but this is just already there's so much going on in this game that this is not a beginner's game, and that's not a knock on it at all. And VL, man, is my hero. Taught me the little trick to be able to position fielders accurately in this game now. Thank God. So that's it for this portion. I'm going to click yes. So let me see. Do we have any people in here to have a Chinwag, or should we just get the hell out? Oh, we got 17 people. So we can have a game running, but I wanted to kind of just touch on, or maybe talk about, let's see if we can do this. We always talk about games and, playing them, and we play them for have fun. But I think it's more than that. And I think it'd be fun if anybody wants to come on, certainly, and, try to keep it a focused, at least to start with, discussion is what is it that the simming baseball does for you? I mean, so you could talk about, is this something that, like, maybe if your emotional state is kind of for a day or something, is this something that you can jump into to forget? Is this baseball simming help you maybe in your vocation? It's like, okay, I've done this, I can focus. I'd like to sort of talk about that. And we'll get some people on the mic here for a little bit, but maybe just take a moment or so and let's maybe think about that, because I know I have, because I don't have a life. Well, it's not exactly true, but I mean, I love what I'm doing here. I love what I'm doing here, and I'm spending a Saturday night. Next week, I won't. Next Saturday, I won't be on. I'll probably be out with a girlfriend, but I really wanted to get a lot of baseball in tonight or today. And I was wondering, for me, what does it do for me? And so I'm going to just take today, for example. There's been some great things happening with the protests and stuff, because let's face it, no matter where you are on the political spectrum, First Amendment rights, it's our most sacred rights. Hey, P flying high. How about them Braves? How about them Braves? What are they doing? Tell me, what are they doing? What are those Braves doing? So for me, it was like, okay, it was great to see people taken to the streets peacefully and stuff like that. And it was like, I got home and had a bit of a sleep, and it was like, I want to play some baseball. So after I was talking to the female particle for a few hours on the phone, I'm like, I want to play some baseball. And so for me, what baseball gives me is, whether it's the narrative that I get to create in the games that I get to share with you and the games that I do offline, it allows me to be in this place where I can kind of restore emotional balance, whether it's, things are out of whack or things are going well, but I still want to get into that place. It's like, okay, everything's all right with the world. I can play some baseball. Or everything sucks right now, man. I just need to play some baseball. So what's it do? So Paul starting us off says, and I love this, he says, it literally is my heart and soul. He says, baseball is like having all your lovers from life in the same room, and they all add things to life. I love that. I love that. I want to actually put that up there. I think that's there. End of discussion. That's superb. It really, really is. I love that, Paul. He goes on to say that every first pitch, a story is going to unfold, and anything is possible. See, Paul, you know how to talk to me, because he knows, right? Because it is that narrative is amazing. And yeah, what about you guys? Come on, man, chime in. It's just fun. This is gonna be a sort of field of dreams type chat. Let's go ahead and gush poetic, if we will. Or gush poetically, as it were. Just make sure to clean up afterwards. But I love that. You know. because you do. And you fire up your favorite baseball game, whether it's cards and dice, whether it's digital, whether it's both, or whatever, and you know that narrative at the end, and you're sifting through box scores like we were, and or there was a night here that Ken and Dwayne and I were on here, and Aaron really late, and we were just looking at rosters and stats and everything, and for me at least, looking at those, my mind goes to like all these games that these guys did, right? And what they played in this project or whatever project that is. And I love that about it. And I'm biased, for baseball. I could have just put on the tin, what does sports simming do for you? And I'll open it up for that, certainly. So there's some folks here that play, don't play as many baseball games, but they play, hockey, basketball, and that other American sport. Best line that moves me is people will come. The baseball encyclopedia in hand, emotional every time I think about that. What a great monologue that is by James Earl Jones in The Field of Dreams. Rabbit Software, let's comment his. He says, playing these games from the 80s brings me back to the times I sat with my father at our camping area, listening to the Expos on the radio and throwing a ball around with family. Yes, there you go. For me, it was so I didn't have that, and so for those of you that had that, I'm so happy that you were so blessed. For me, it was in college. I mean, I remember playing, when I was a little kid, my friends and I would, play baseball, even to the point where we'd go up to playgrounds and literally shovel off enough room to play like wiffle ball in the middle of winter. But I remember, my best friend and I in college, just having catches and listening to baseball games and stuff like that, and playing status pro when we should have, been studying and wonderful things like that. Yeah, so fantastic, Rabbit Wolverine. Thank you. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing, man. It really, really is. So it brings you back to that time. And doesn't it do that though? I mean, how it does transport us. It's beautiful. As Paul says, it's fantastic, and it truly, truly is. Paul says he misses the Expos, and Aaron asking Rabbit Wolverine who called the Expos games at the time. Were they in French? I know at least part of them probably were, but whether that was for mass consumption out there, I don't know. So D. Smith joining us. Welcome in, buddy. And he says it's an escape for him. He says, I can unwind from work or stressors, and it takes me back to my younger days when life was simpler. Love that. I love that. And so, because we love baseball so lucky, says Paul, to that. And I think that is to D. Smith's point, and D. Smith back to Paul's point. So it takes us back to these places. And it is. This is great. I love that you guys are bringing this in, because I think that we get, and obviously, right? It's a baseball game, so of course we're drawn into that baseball aspect. But I mean, I know as a gamer, I've got all these games in Steam and GOG and stuff like that, and board games and whatever, and I've got Magic to work on and whatever. But what keeps drawing me back to this is all these wonderful reasons, and it is. So for me, it's finding the center again, and baseball gives me that center. Baseball gives me that grounding, but it also allows me to dream, and it allows me to imagine, and that this narrative that Paul's talking about, this narrative is as real to me as the real season, but more so, it can be what I need it to be. Love this channel because it makes me feel at one with people who also love our game. Well, that's because of this community, and so that thanks is for everybody. And thank you for that, Paul. Aaron, let's comment up Aaron here, as we find out that the Expos games were not in French. Okay. Aaron says he can escape to baseball when he's had a rough go of things. Yep. For example, my first breakup, I came home and fired up All-Star Baseball 2003 and played for hours. Nice. Oh yeah, I've gone through breakups and found my solace in the grand old game. Certainly, I certainly have. But also for me too, though, having in the past, the person I'm with now, I think I get her a couple baseball games. She's going to be cool. She tolerates baseball, but she doesn't understand it. But she doesn't like other sports, so at least she's okay with baseball. But I remember, especially my ex, we used to go to Toledo Mud Hens games, like complete homestands and stuff like that. And she loved baseball. Another girl that I was with loved when I would have Ernie Harwell on. She's like, baby, put on that game with where he's announcing baseball game while I'm cooking. And so I remember those good times too. So it's not only the breakups, but it's also the good times that you had with that lover. And nothing better than having your girlfriend or wife, sitting there, and she's as much into the game as you. And my ex loved to keep score. We get a program at Fifth Third Field, and that'd be it, man. She'd be off to the races. She'd be off to the races, keeping score in that game. I'd say, babe, what did so and so do back in the third inning again? And I forget. I didn't forget, but oh no, yeah. So he hit a double, and a run scored on that double. Yeah, remember that? Oh yeah, yeah. Thank you, baby. So Paul says, so my dream is a perfect game this season. My season project's opening day is Wednesday. All right, awesome. Dreaming of the great things to come. And, you know, boy, baseball, doesn't it do that to you too? Because so to go back to the Ken Burns documentary that most of us really reference a lot, and rightfully so. Baseball always has promise, and baseball delivers. Maybe not in the way that you want to, but it's always going to deliver, and it's going to deliver fantastic narratives. Even in a meh season, it doesn't let you down that way. By October and 1,000 games later, what stories you'll be able to treasure? Yes. And so I don't know if Bernie's still here, but what I would like Bernie and I to talk about on a Diamonds and Dice podcast is, again, I'm trying to, and you guys are offering such great input, and I hope you can make it for the next time Bernie and I do this, is to talk about those stories within the context of the game. Because for me, and is this true for you guys? Let me put this question out. Do you get to the point, and this is going to sound very J. Henry Waugh, right? But do you find yourself at times that you're engrossed in the game, and that you're not in the game anymore? As in, I'm looking at this, and I know this is programmed by Richard Dombrowski. I know it's called Dombrov Baseball, but if I'm getting into a game, I'm into the game. Or if I'm doing APA PC Baseball for Windows, I'm hanging on Ernie Harwell's every word, how he's calling it. Oh my God, okay, this guy's on deck. There's 2 on, 2 out. Pitcher's starting to struggle a little bit. And this interface, whatever interface of the game I'm playing, disappears. And I imagine that's got to be the same, maybe even more so for those of you that play cards and dice baseball. Because you've got the visceral thing, right, of rolling the dice. Right? So you're looking at that card, and if you're playing Strat and you're looking at that column, right? You're like, okay, and you're in it. And you're forgetting about the mechanics of rolling the dice to get that result, but rather that becomes gossage into the windup. Here's the pitch. And it just plays through. Could it be that the music of all the broadcasts that you've heard in your baseball life are all playing out in this beautiful symphony? Cacophonous at times, certainly, but ultimately, what a great composition. Am I aggrandizing? Perhaps, perhaps, perhaps not. Something that can be open for a polite discussion. So Samuel says there's a nice set of baseball card type player photos for Baseball Mogul on the forum. Adds a nice atmosphere to historical eras. I'm going to go and get those ballparks that people have talked about, and thank you for that suggestion, Samuel, because I do think Baseball Mogul is a good game. I just wish there were, Clay would do some things like with the animation and stuff. Good stuff. So Paul telling us, he says, yes, I live the actual moment. He says, I hated Strat Max, but I just broadcast a few weeks ago a random game, and by the end, I loved it because it created moments. I was part of something. Yes, Strat Max did not matter. The game did. Perfect. Perfect. So Paul, that's another 40 euros I owe you for that one. But seriously, it does. I forget where I am, and I find even so when I'm mucking about in any of these games, and I do want to get back to the one that I'm messing around with. Um, that even looking at stats, yeah, it's good stuff. So yeah, Paul, we're up to like 90 euros. By the way, Paul, before we continue this, I wanted to let you know that I saw the Facebook post from Craig. I haven't gotten any of those errors at all with Pocket Pennant Run. It's been running like a champ. So I don't know if what's going on. If some people are getting the errors, but if he's taking it down, I won't play it on the channel again till the next patch. But it's working fine for me. So I'm not really quite sure what people are talking about. Something about merging the databases. I've no errors. I've had no errors. It's playing like it's like hi there. You're getting them too. It's like saying hi there. I'm I'm Kate Beckinsale disguised as Pocket Pennant Run Baseball, and it's been fine. I've been able to. I'm continuing with my 1955 project. It's playing well. So yeah, Aaron Reed says. He says, I remember my first APA no hitter. Every time Ernie made mention of it, I would forget the mechanics. Yes. And that the game was and still is a cards and dice game. A fella's throwing a no hitter. Right there. Look at the end, right? It says a fella is throwing a no hitter. That's what it comes down to. That no hitters rule. That night that you guys and Aaron, you weren't even around yet. I don't think in the channel. And Paul, you weren't around yet, but I remember Ken Castro, and I wonder if he's like pissed off at me or something. I haven't seen him in ages, and I don't know what I would have done except I haven't been playing any dead ball or 19th century baseball. God, and I miss it too. But they were there, and D. Scott Howard was there. I had like 23 people, and at that time, we only had like 300 family members in here, man. And Scott McGregor threw a no hitter, and everybody was following it batter by batter by batter by batter, and everybody just absolutely went nuts in the chat when Scott McGregor threw the no hitter, and I was so chuffed. It's the only one I've ever had, man. So, so not a game issue. It's something with the zip. I mean, it's fine. It has been fine for me. Um, I know was it Joe Cards that mentioned something about the databases or something. I mean, I don't know how it's going to act right now because this, I've had this up and had a couple crashes. So, but I know, like, just if I fire it up, it's playing. So I mean, is it like I don't know if it's a reproducible bug or crash, but I've not had any errors. Had no perfect games ever, says Paul, and then had two in successive days in Action PC, but 19 years since, not even a no hitter. I know it's like, ugh, it's maddening, maddening. 10 years since, it is like, come on, come on, come on, and you get invested in it. So cool stuff. I'm gonna put the link in the chat, and I have to. Oh no, I don't have sound on, so this will be really really easy. Crashes in historic games. Dare I try it? Nah, I'll wait till you guys fix it. I don't want to do it on a live stream, but I'm gonna play it a little bit tomorrow offline, and I'll let you know if it finally hits me. But it hasn't, unless it's I don't know, maybe because I'm managing the Dodgers. So if I open 1971 and choose, do you want me to try it now? I mean, I will if you'd like before we go on. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. All right, let's go ahead and close it on Barbracio. So guys, get it. This is the first time I can say get the game. Good stuff. All right. Pocket pin and run. All right. So you guys are doing so play game from history. All right. I'm gonna just pick 1955 again. Boom. Load save season. And let me see. We got Cincinnati Redlegs versus Chicago Cubs. Print play game. Um, but explain this is a zip issue. I have to go to 1971. Okay. Never mind. Okay, so do you want me to just do it from? Hang on. So is 1971 in this history? It is not. So do I need to just pick a game from 1971? Is that fine? So in other words, the replays are fine, but it's picking one from a date. So let's go here and let's pick May. What is today? Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's do May 16th, 1971, and we'll see if that's the problem. Show available games. Giants Dodgers. Let's pick that one. No, not this. I'm super confused now. Type 1970. Why would I type 1971? For what? Oh, you mean to play a game from history? Okay, sorry. Sorry. Okay, yep, gotcha. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, 1971, and then load the whole season. Okay, now what? Pick a game? Okay, I'm there. And now what? Paul's holding my hand here. I don't want to make him get on the mic. He just got up, so we don't want to get on the mic here. Wib and wow. It's there. Was it supposed to have crashed by now? Because it's fine. Nope. Here, I'll even go into a game. Red Sox, Yankees. Okay. And there, advanced fielding, advanced batting. I'm going to turn off, even though I love it. I'm just going to turn this off. No bullpen warm-up. Save settings. Settings have been saved, and looks like I'm ready to rock. All right, so Horace Clarke leading it off here for the New York Yankees. Ray Call peers in, has the sign from Dwayne Josephson. Here is the wind and the pitch. And this one is going to be a base hit right field. This one gets past George Scott into right field. All right, so we got a runner aboard, and coming to the plate now is the captain, Thurman Munson. Love the RBIs are in here. 251 average, 10 home runs, 42 runs batted in. Ralph Houck going to steal here with Horace Clarke. Horace Clarke's got some good speed here. Josephson, decent arm, though, behind the plate. And here we go. Off to the races, and Horace Clarke steals his way into scoring position. So proves is zip or download issue. We were screaming yesterday. So I'll tell you what I did and maybe why this is not happening to me. So I downloaded, and all I did was I copied just the executable into what I had, and then the game was saying, hang on a second, I've got to update your databases and blah, 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 blah. And that was it. And it's playing. And you saw with 1955. When you first loaded it, did it up? Yes, it did. It did update my databases, and it's working. I'm in 1971, and it's working. I didn't have to merge a damn thing. It just did it. So did I get lucky? That's the clue? Good. Okay. Yep, I just put just the executable in there, and it updated the databases. It recognized what I had in there. Yeah. So it recognized what I had in there, Paul. So it's working. So if that's the clue and something easy for people to fix, or for Craig to fix, boom, Bob's your uncle. Here's the pitch to Thurman Munson, and oh, Ray Culp in a little bit of trouble here, and he hits Thurman Munson. How can you hit Thurman Munson, man? Wow. Well, he did anyhow. Okay, so 2 on for the New York Yankees. Nobody out. Oh, you're very welcome, Paul. So that means I can keep playing? Does that mean I can keep playing Pocket Pennant Run Baseball on the channel since mine's working? Sorry to piss you guys off, but it's working, man. So anyhow, so you have an HQ update today. Cool. I'm loving HQ. So Paul, I gotta ask you straight out: will there ever be a time? Probably not. But will there ever be a time when I can do that thing I want to, with teams from all different seasons and create a schedule and make a season inside this? Do you think Craig someday could do that? If not, it's no big deal. I've got 300 other baseball games that can do it. I'm just curious. I'm having fun just doing what I do with Pocket Pennant right now, which is actually a lot. And I love Baseball HQ. I'm finally sort of kind of getting to grips with it. But I can't help it every time I see that create season files. I'm like, because Craig made it so easy now to just put in the teams that I want to do. And it's like, shit, it's so close. And I mean, come on, even Baseball Mobile can do it. Please, come on, Baseball Mobile. But yeah, man, this game. Do you guys, you know what? Well, Paul, do you have a few minutes? I'm going to show these guys something. Watch, this thing's going to probably blow up, but I'm going to show you guys something. Just for shits and giggles, baby, because that's really the best reason to do things is for shits and giggles, right? Is it not? All right. So let me find something here because I want you guys to see a little bit of evolution. You say you want an evolution. Well, baby, stand upright. See, the Beatles should have written it that way, shouldn't they? All right. Let me see. Shit, which one do I want to get here? Is it this one? Yeah. All right. So hang tight. Um, everybody pull the socks up. Everybody put the foot down. All right. So download anyway. It's on my own damn drive. And I'm going to put it on my desktop. Now, I'm going to put it where Paul says not to put it, but just to bring you up, just to show you where we've been and where we are now. Okay, so one moment. I'm not looking at the chat. There, looky what I have here. Looky what I have here. Woohoo, woohoo. All right, let's go to desktop. Boink. And Paul's going to say, don't put it on your desktop. I'm not going to play it. I just want you guys to see why I'm just such a nudge for this game, man. What can I say? I love it. Oh, feck. Let's just do it the easy way. Where are you? There you are. Helix. We're going to go to Helix. We're going to go to Helix. And let me see. Where's my more options? Where the hell's my more options, man? What'd you do with it? There it is. Right under my mouse. 7-zip. Extract to Pennant Run Helix. Okay. All right. So here's the new one. And receive file Green Fox. Okay. Thank you very much. And this is Helix. Helix and Felix. And Pennant Run. So, guys, here's the old one. We're going to X out of this game and go back to the start screen. Okay. Now I'm going to look at your comments again. So Helix is even a later it's not an early version. Now can you guys see anything? Yeah, now you can. I should hope. Yep. Now you can. This is Helix. When did this come out? This is 2024. So you can see already so much that you could do. So you had team management in this thing. There's no teams loaded in here. I could add a team from the database, from league sheets, or create a team, right? But in this one, I can do so much more. So if I show you these two next door to each other, they look similar, but this one actually lets me do more. Okay, so let's go ahead and close this and close this. Um, so their quick play is the sim game, but play a game from history. Um, so this is sort of like a box score replay was what it was called back then. And we'll go to a let's pick a season here. 1971. Why not? Why not? Why not? I really want you guys to see what kind of work that's been done here. Okay. And let's just pick the Astros or Dodgers, print play game, and play game day. So there you go. There's where it was. And this was already a huge improvement to what it used to be. But notice there's no logos here yet. It does have the warm-up thing in here already going. But if we look at a similar game screen here in Betty, let's play a game from history again, and we'll just select a save season, 1971, replay, load save season. What are the two that we have up here right now? Dodgers Astros, right? Boom, and print play game, and play game day. And boy, what a difference a year makes. There you go. Look at that. Look at the difference between these two. So this was before we, right? I say we. It's not my game. But it is, right? What a difference. Yeah, it was a great design, Paul. It was a great design. But you're also going to notice everything's a bit sort of larger and kind of, yeah. But now you didn't have handedness. So on Helix, you still had to look at handedness for each batter for left to right results. You don't have to do that anymore. And so much more happening in this game now. And this is just in the main game screen, right? So uh, here's Maury Wills up to bat. Well, what do you notice here about Maury Wills? There's no stats. There's like no stats at all. I look over here at Maury Wills and look at this. I've got his season stats for 1971. You notice there's also, right, there's the options, right? You didn't have yet the advanced, so you couldn't reposition fielders in this game. And I'm sorry, you couldn't in Helix. You were just playing the basic game. There it is, right? So this is a defense check, and so it was a defense check, and I had to actually look. So that's on third base. So then I've got to go down and I've got to look at the defense to see what that play was, right? So I go down here. It's a 3, and this is going to be a ground ball, 5-3. So then I had to close this. Then I had to select the play and see where we were, right? This is like ground ball, third base, first base, enter play, and 1 out and batter up. Now this is not going to be a 5-3 over here, but we can make it so. But let's see what play comes out here. All right, so look at this. Now you got a range play that pops up here. All right, I don't even have to look anywhere. I got to look here and see it's a 6. Go to 6, and this is going to be a fly ball out to Bob Watson in left field. And I'm just going to click on that 6, and I'm going to do F7 and batter up. Boom, there you go. And of course you can switch to meeples. Pittsburgh Pirates meeples still aren't in here, by the way. Ahem, ahem. So how much work that Craig has put into programming, that Paul has done in his inexhaustible testing. This is incredible. And I loved the game back then. And I forget what was out before Helix. I forget, was it Jasper was before Helix or something? I know these were named after his cats or something or whatever. There was Goji, which I have Goji somewhere as well too. I could do a retrospective on pocket pennant run. But even back then, with all you had to do there, and there was no repositioning fielders, and I had no idea. It's like, so I'd have to click on these little dudes and remember that Roger Metzger was a C. I don't have to do that anymore. I can see Roger Metzger is a C. I just know that by the color. Doug Rader. I know Doug Rader. I should move Doug Rader into zone 2 to help Metzger a little bit, and maybe move Dennis Menke into zone 5 to be able to reposition my fielders. But you can also see here, we have different pitchers, so we can't really do that. But just there you go. There's your A/B comparison, guys. And with the things that Jasper, your dog. Okay, you're going for a cuddle now. Go get that cuddle. I don't want Mrs. Paul upset at me again. So there it is. And you know what? Just to get back to what we've been talking about, let me get out of the old version now. Is this the old version? God, I have no idea where I am. I'm so lost, man. Which one is this? Oh shit, I should know. It's going to close one of these games. There we go. We'll close this one. I think that's it. There we go. There we go. Now we're back to where we should be. So even in a game looking as abstract as this one, I think... Oops. That was my fault. That was... There. We're okay. We're good. Yep. Oop, it's working. That was Helix that did that. So even this game, look how abstract this is. This doesn't look like the Astrodome. Every baseball park looks like every baseball park in this game. But I can see this is Bill Buckner batting against Larry Durker. I'm already not seeing the interface anymore. I'm involved in a baseball game. And it just happens that Bill Buckner is going to send a fly ball out to right. Cesar Cedeno is going to track it down for the out. And as I find as I play these games, I just get into this kind of very much this Zen thing. Now, with that being said, let me pull this over. Let me open up the mic to anybody that might want to come in and have a chat, man. Just have a chat. I miss you guys. I miss you guys. I miss you so much, man. I do. I do. I'm not even under the influence. I'm really not. A lot of people might think, but I'm not. Where's my headphones? There they are. All right. So, what am I doing? Oh, I'm doing this. Boop. And boop. There we go. Holy moly, it's 2 in the morning already. Isn't that incredible? There we go. Anybody want to join? Join up. And, yeah. You know, talk baseball gaming and stuff like that. In the meantime, 2 down for Willie Davis. 309 average, 10 home runs, 74 runs batted in. God, I'd love to be able to say RBI in this game now. And wind in the pitch from Larry Durker. And Willie Davis is going to whiff on this one. So that will retire the side. All right. Nothing across for the Dodgers to go to the bottom of the first. Dodgers, nothing. Astros coming to bat. So Bill Singer will be facing Cesar Cedeno. So it would be Cedeno, Morgan, and Wynn due up for the Houston Spacemen. All right, Singer has the sign from. Oh my God, I can't read it. Oh, Duke Sims. Here we go. Here's the pitch. Jeez, couldn't read his name there for a second. My fault. All right, batter for fly ball center field. Willie Davis ranging to his right makes the grab. And Willie Davis makes the grab in center field. 1 up, 1 down for little Joe Morgan. And who do I got on here? Aaron Reed. Hey, buddy. Hey.
Hey, what you
Hey,
got?
there you go. Everybody can hear Aaron Reed now. How you
What you
doing,
got?
bud?
Doing good, doing good. What you got? Dodgers and Astros?
Dodgers Astros 1971 is what I
Wow.
got going on right now. Anybody else, you're welcome to join as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So did we say we were going to see if this was accessible for you or not?
I think we did. Which are you?
Eh,
Is
this
this
is
pocket pennant?
yeah. Does it work for you or not?
I've never tried.
Do you have it yet?
Nope, I do
So
not.
that's what I'm asking. Did we say we were going to try that
We
or
were
what?
gonna. We did say we were gonna try, but
Okay, we're gonna have to try it. We're
I
gonna
don't
have to
have it.
try it.
I don't have it, unfortunately.
Mm,
I
because it's I'm guessing it probably will be because I don't know. I don't know. It's a good game though. It's a good game.
sure.
I'm just wondering though, like with this, because you're like clicking on dice to roll them, how if your software is going to tell you where the dice are. That would be my concern about
I
this
don't know
game.
about that because
Yeah.
the I don't know because like I'm big on a game having sound and things like that, and
Okay. Yeah, and this has none.
it
So
has
yeah, it's not going to really help you, is it?
not
So
really. I
well, I
mean,
mean, I was thinking if it had a narrator, but I don't think it uses a narrator. Let me look at the options here and see.
or if
Uh,
my text to speech would help me with this.
no, because no, it wouldn't because like so right now I'm just gonna like just describe what I'm doing. So
Sure.
Joe Morgan's at bat. I'm gonna click the dice and it's showing me the dice result. So it's a five. This is a left right,
Right.
and since they're different handedness, this is going to come from the batter column six. And the games and your software is not going to know that. So it's going to be a fly ball, and Willie Davis will track it down for the out. So probably not going to work for you,
Probably
unfortunately.
not. I
Yeah.
mean,
And this is something like out of the park baseball. I don't think you could kind of make accessible. Although funny enough, if you were playing this as a cards and dice game, the physical game,
yeah.
all you'd have to do is fill the spots in the dice. But
That
you would, and then now I wonder if that would be something that they would be willing to do down the line for the physical game, is to do the cards in braille, and you'd have the
that
dice because you
could
could
be
have braille
something.
dice, and you could at least play the physical version
The
at the beginning.
closest I've gotten to a dice rolling game is um, my copy of a game that I have on my shelf. It's called Touch 'Em All Baseball.
I think
It
I've
ha-
heard of that.
it has braille die. You spin them instead of roll them,
Oh, okay, that's
and
cool.
you're given like a run scorecard. You're giving an umpire card.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of neat. I mean, I got friends of mine who are sightless like I am.
Mm-hmm.
We would sit in the kitchen and play this game for hours. But it's hard to do seasons with it. But see, you just kind of do like exhibition games and make your own fantasy lineups and stuff.
Right, 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 right.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
fun. I mean, I mentioned was it? I mentioned in the chat earlier that when I after my first breakup, because you were talking about how simulating baseball can, you know, what we use it for, and
Yeah, what does it do? Yeah, what's so what? And that actually, we're still having that conversation. Yeah, what
yeah.
does it do for you?
Well,
I just wanted to catch Paul while he was here because they were talking about errors in this thing, and I'm like, mine's
if
running fine. So,
if I ever had like a rough day, like me and my current girlfriend ever had an argument or something like that, and we wanted to escape into a world of like, hey, let me put something on, and we'll submerge ourselves. And I would just fire up Baseball for Windows, and
there you go.
we would just sit or lay and watch it and
Mm-hmm.
listen to it. And it's like, well, I remember one night we did that. One day we did that, and I'm like, she's like, "What were we fighting about?"
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't even know anymore.
I know. It's it's
Uh,
it's a great healer that way.
it. And she said one night, she said it's a good distraction. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like if she wanted, like she could just escape downstairs, and Ernie would be just calling the game. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, she did ask me once, why does he sound so like digitized. I said that's because of the technology of the time.
Right.
But if you you know put that aside, you just got. But yeah, like my first breakup when me and my first girlfriend split in 2011,
Mm-hmm.
I was depressed. I will sit here and tell you I was, and I'm thinking, how am I going to get away from this for at least for a while?
Mm-hmm.
And I got home, unpacked my stuff, got the GameCube on, turned the GameCube on, and put in All Star Baseball 2003, and I just kept on playing it. It's like great, Reds won a game. Okay, good. But it's like, why am I sad? Why am I depressed? I've got this great game I can listen to on a frequent basis, you know,
Right.
and playing all these old seasons with your pure sims and the strategies and whatnot. It's like I think about the time. It's like when um, in the early '90s when I wasn't even remotely a baseball fan. It's like what I wouldn't give to be back in that time again. Of course, I was only 1, 2, 3 years old, what have you.
Uh-huh.
But just to hear like Marty and Joe, for example, or things like that, would put me to sleep at night. Because a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people would say, "Oh, when I was a little lad or lass, depending on who you talk to, they would say, "Oh, I
Depends
was."
on your plumbing. Yep.
Yeah, that's your plumbing. Depends on your plumbing, lad. But
I it does.
like they would say, "Oh, I used to take my little radio and sneak it under the pillow and just listen to Ernie Harwell or something like that, or wherever they were,
Mm-hmm.
whether it was Harwell in Michigan, Detroit, or
Yeah.
Marty in Cincinnati, or Skip, Pete, Don, and whoever in Atlanta,
Yep.
or what was it? Who's the guy that does the Mets games? I
Well,
forget his
I remember for me it was Jack Buck,
Jack
because
Buck. Yeah,
because KMOX like had I think they their broadcast was so signal could have
Buck,
reached the
Jack
Andromeda
Buck.
galaxy.
Was it Jack?
Jeez.
You could pick. I could pick KMOX up in Louisville for crying out loud.
That's
Mike
why
Shannon.
the Cardinals are my second favorite team, because
Yeah,
late at night I could listen to Cardinals games, you know?
I.
So, yeah.
Oh man, like when I was at school and I had a rough day in class, I would wait till the late evening hour, or like the 7 to 9 or 8 to 9 hours, just to hear, Cleveland Indians games, or like you said, Cardinals games, or sometimes I pick up the Cubs or the Atlanta Braves. It's
Yeah.
like the signal would stretch out, and it's like, but in the morning, man, you
Oh
know,
yeah. Yeah. The
oh,
cosmic background radiation, yeah.
boy, you know,
So for
but
you, baseball is a way to balance your emotional state, but it's also a way for you, like if you've had a disagreement with your significant other, to kind of like, but which is a healthy thing. The therapists say it's like, stay focused on the issue, but if it's things start get heated, step away,
but I
right?
wouldn't
And
use it
so
for
and
me.
so, I think that would allow you guys to do that, right?
I wouldn't
Am
use.
I?
I would do it for both of us. Like, let's just
Well, that's
escape.
what I mean, right? Let's get off the issue. Let's just listen. Let's just chill. And
Some,
I bet you were able to probably settle disagreements a
I
lot
remember one
faster,
night we had
right?
an argument about something, or she wanted to get. No, it wasn't really a fight. She wanted to go downstairs and
Uh
just
huh.
escape for a while. And I put on Baseball for Windows, and we watched a game. And she goes, "What's next?" And I'm like,
Ah,
"If you let me get
nice.
up and hit the pause, uncheck the box that says pause between games, we'll find out together." And we watched the whole series, I think, too.
Oh, that's cool.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's like because we were talking about it one night,
Mm-hmm.
and I mentioned the my first Reds game that I went to in 2003. She
Mm-hmm.
goes, I said it was July 5th, 2003. It was me, my brother, and our church had taken us, and our church booked standing room only tickets. There was no way in hell we were going to be in a standing room only, you know, position at that during that game. So we kind of moved from seat to seat. And she said, I think I was at that game. I said, really? She said, I said, she said, I think so. And I said, did you sit next to a little kid? Well, I guess not a little kid, but like a teenage boy with long hair and a ponytail down his back that was screaming like a lunatic. And she said, "Well, there was a kid that looked like that next to me." I said, "That I think that was." She said, "I said that was me." She goes, "Wow," because
That's
you know.
cool.
But
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, I was only 13 years old. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's like you know, and every time I go to it, like I think about certain things. It's like you know, like, me and my like I introduce people that like my past girlfriends to baseball. It's like they ask, what is this or something like that, or I remember the first time my significant other and I listened to APA. She
Mm-hmm.
goes, "Why is it one pitcher out or one pitcher on base?" I said, "Initially, it's a cards and dice game, so naturally they're gonna, you know,
Right, right.
that's why it's so fast.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if this was real, like a not a cards and dice game, it'd be a lot longer.
Oh yeah, I mean, so out of the park baseball and action PC, you can play pitch by pitch mode.
Sure.
So yeah, yeah. I really wish you could play out of the park baseball. Oh my God,
Yeah, you got
because it's
that
got a 2D mode in it. So, but nothing in there is text. That's the thing,
right.
and so your software wouldn't know what it was reading.
But yeah, it's like I feel down and out about things, and I'll just play, baseball on my computer, whether it's pure sim or strategy you know, or strategy. It goes so damn fast you can't really read anything because it's like if you're watching it, it's like boom, 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 and I'm like, wait, wait, what? Back up, back up! I'm missing
Mm-hmm.
something here, you
You're
know.
missing something. So again, it's like you're listening to a real game because you know what? At the end of the day, I think it is a real game, and some people may poo-poo that or raise an eyebrow Spock fashion, but it really is. So I mean, I'm looking at this, right now, and I mean, so for you to be listening,
Sure.
but so let's just use the term watch just as a general term, if you
Yeah.
don't mind.
No, go ahead.
Um, right? So to me, this is a game going on right now between the Dodgers and the Astros in 1971, and
Yeah.
Jimmy Wynn is at bat, and it's not, it's so my mind, and I think that's the mark of a good game when you forget it's a game. And so for me, right in my mind's eye, is God forbid, I'm watching this game in the Astrodome. You
Right.
know, so I was never a fan of the Astrodome. Ugh. Anyhow, um, I'm not a fan of. I know why they needed it, but still. But anyhow, the thing is like this is Bill Singer is going to pitch to Jim Wynn, and there's going to be a baseball thing, and it's a baseball thing happening. And
Yeah.
I'm looking at that. I'm looking at Jimmy Wynn's stats. I'm looking at Bill Singer's stats. But so for me, baseball, I think why, and again, I'm going to reference the Ken Burns documentary.
Hmm.
Thomas Boswell talked about, I think it was Boswell that was talking about it. He said that baseball also, he was talking about how for the shut-in, the baseball game on the radio was like the thing they had to listen to take them out of that, maybe that isolation, because maybe they couldn't walk down the steps in their flat, something that so many of us take for granted, that they couldn't go somewhere, and they had no company, they had no right. And I imagined, when he was talking about that here was this person, maybe a senior citizen, and sitting in some flat in Brooklyn, no visitors, nobody, but every day, and for that, from April to October, turn on that radio and listen to baseball, and
Sure.
and be there as they were as a kid, and maybe they were old enough, to have been at Ebbets Field, or wherever. I'm assuming Dodgers fans are living in Brooklyn, whatever. But and then for me, what it did for me is, man, I mean, the way I grew up and the things that I saw, baseball was one of the things that literally saved me, and that I could go into a world where I knew there were baseball brawls and stuff, but to me, and that 8-year-old mind and that 9-year-old mind, It wasn't the bad things that I had to navigate every day in my life growing up, the first 18 years of my life. And so baseball, I'm forever thankful for it because it was one of the three things that really pulled me through that. And I just love it. I'm excited. I don't my Pirates are off to an 0-2 start, but I'm so excited about baseball. So excited about my Bucks, win or lose.
Yeah.
And I think that is too because I realized it was this game. It was baseball. And also, too, what does it do for me? If I go back retroactively, I used to dream of, because I would pour through like the baseball magazines, and I didn't, I would skip past the cards and dice baseball stuff. I'm like, I don't know what this is, whatever. But I would devour the stats and the stories and everything, which is why I got that subscription to Baseball Digest. And I'll go back and read issues from when I was a kid. I was like, God, this is so cool. I missed this first time around. But so, but I always thought, boy, I'd love to play a game someday. If there would ever be such a game where I could have all these great players that I've read about and be able to play them in a game. And now here I am. I can do it, and
Right.
and I don't take it for granted at all. I'm I love the fact that it's there. And yeah, I play a lot of non baseball games and stuff like that. But it's something pulls me back. I'll be thinking about like a project that I'm doing, and I'm not thinking about, oh, I'm doing this project in Action PC. No, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get home tonight and play a game in 1971. See if my Pirates can maintain that 3-game lead on the Mets.
Yep.
That would be the same as talking about, the 2026 baseball season.
Hmm.
Like to here, like today. So, like you were talking about how your Reds beat the Red Sox today,
Yeah. six
but
five extra.
right 6-5. So, but if you were also played a baseball sim today, you would talk about that with the same conviction as that Red Sox Reds game today,
Sure.
and that's what makes it amazing. So it is an escape. I think it is a stabilizer. And I think it also is what Thomas Boswell said. I think it gives us these kinds of needs because I think about this hobby that we're in, Aaron, and I say it so many times that we're geeks among gamers. And we are. I mean, had they played APA or Strat on Big Bang Theory, shit, we'd be mainstream and all of these celebrities that play D&D would come out of the closet and say, "Yeah, I play status pro baseball." Whatever.
What
Um,
wasn't there like a politicians that encouraged people to play APA and things like that, like they endorsed
George
APA?
Bush, President Bush, his whole family, his dad, H.W. Bush and George W. Jeb Bush, they would have APA tournaments. They're APA players.
They would sit and play APA for like it
They
was a,
it was a thing. They said when everybody was home for the holidays, it was baseball was on during
oh
Christmas.
yeah.
I you know And so, yeah, and of course we know John Miller.
Oh
After calling a
yes.
game, we'll sit in a hotel room and roll up Strat or whatever.
I bet he did that tonight.
Probably.
I bet he did that tonight.
There's baseball players that play these games, and I think that's so cool. Could you imagine, right? You're coming off a 162 game season, yet you're
Yeah.
playing baseball. I think that's so cool. It
I can imagine being an actual baseball player, 162 game schedule. You bust your ass every day, every night, hitting the, you're playing the game for real, and yet you go home and
hmm
you play the games that we play, the baseball games that we play, and it's like
right.
you get to live the dream all over again.
You do. You
I
do.
mean, it's like I think I read somewhere. I think Vin Scully once said in MLB. I think it was 2000. He said, "Yeah, Brett Tomko plays MLB 99 all the time." I'm like, wow. I mean, I'm sure after
Yeah.
he pitches, he'll go home and fire up the PlayStation and play MLB 99 or something like that, or
Yeah.
whereabouts thereof. I mean, it's like I never heard stories about actual players that actually do that, but I'm sure they do. I mean, they don't. they got to have something to do during the off season. But yeah, they got a wife and kids to take care of, and they got a family to feed and everything. But
Sure.
and then, of course, some people go off and play winter ball somewhere, or they'll go to Mexico, or they'll go to the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Remember, I think it was it was about, I think it was in February. We were at Dad and I were at a sports bar
Mm-hmm.
having dinner together, and we saw a Caribbean Series baseball game
Nice.
in February. They'll play, it's winter ball.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
So, but they want to, it's like when the strike happened in '94. You had a lot of baseball player, but jeez, let me accent. Baseball players looking for like other jobs. I think
Mm-hmm.
Chipper Jones was a talk show host, was a radio worked on talk radio for a while.
Right.
Some of them were grocery baggers,
Well, you went back in the old days, and the guys that weren't the superstars in the off season, they were back doing back-breaking labor
digging
on
the digging
farms and digging ditches, working in steel mills. Iron Man Joe McGinnity worked in the damn steel mills in
wow.
the off
There,
season. Yeah, 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 yeah. This was before, it was really Bob Feller that spearheaded the look. These guys, we need pensions for baseball
pension,
players
yeah.
and stuff like that. But the other thing to get back to this about what it does. So the other thing for me is, as a kid, buy baseball cards, and you'd look at the picture, but we all flipped around the card on the flip side to look at the stats. And we would try to invent baseball games. When I
Oh
was a
yeah.
little kid playing these baseball games, but looking, reading these books and stuff like that. And I'm a big fan of the big fat baseball books. Love them. I love the fact that they're heavy. Yeah, baseball reference is awesome. Baseball almanac's awesome, but there's something about holding a 3,000-page baseball book that just makes my heart
It's like
so happy. But the fact then that I can read about these or look at these stats and then fire up a game about a player, and these games also they're educative for me too because I've learned these players become less abstract or less this huge column of numbers that I've seen in Total Baseball or Baseball Reference or whatever, and now they're playing this game. They're playing, and it's like, okay, these stats I've read, and this is matching up, and it has become not only an adjunct to learning the history of this game, which I probably know 1/2 of 1% of, but also that it's now these numbers become like, wow, because I didn't see these guys play. I never saw Wes Parker play or Larry Durker play. I know Larry Durker became a manager. You know,
and
but
an occasional analyst.
right, but I didn't. But he wasn't on the field, and so even though it's abstract, and so on here I've got this picture of Larry Durker on one side, and Wes Parker, who's at bat right now, on the other side. Jimmy Wynn just flew out, by the way, and ended the inning. So
This is
talk in a
just we
second.
got a low key game going on right now. It's amazing.
But it's just that I love that, and I really loving that a few people here have chosen to really
You know,
say what this has done because it's maybe for some people it doesn't. Maybe for them it's just, well, what I am is just interested in the mechanics and how the game engine works, and that's valid. That's cool. There's no wrong answers. There's not going to be a quiz, but
I'll,
I sense that there's something deeper.
sure.
I
I'll tell
do.
you.
Yeah. Go ahead,
I'll
please.
tell you one thing. When I was a kid, I hated the off season.
Oh, I
I
still
mean,
hate the off season.
I like. Well, now there's a workaround for that, but when
Well,
and there,
yeah.
even there was back then, but like when because it's like the last day of the season was always so sad because the team, if your favorite team wasn't going to make the playoffs, you couldn't watch them until either spring training or opening day of next year. And
Right.
then you got, of course, the if you're interested in the playoffs, you got that to watch. But a lot of times some series could be just boom, 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 done. That's it. We'll see you next year. And it's like, no. But, and then
Yeah.
of course, you got like the video games. You've got, you know, like I played MLB 2004 on the PS2. Like I played a lot of baseball sim games on the PlayStation back then. And it was just to feed that appetite, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Right.
And now, like I said many times before, and it's like, yeah,
And welcome in from Turkey.
hello, Turkey,
Turkey. Yeah. Good to
and
see you, my friend.
it's like when of course, I did this last year. Like the last day of the season, it was you know they play all the games at once. You can't catch them all, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then after that was over, I'm like,
Yeah. It
I'm
ain't
gonna
like Pokemon, right?
no, no. Believe me, we traded many a Pokemon cards behind the swing set at school. Trust me, a lot of
Yeah.
kids did that, and a lot of the kids I went to school with did that too. It was just, but yeah, like last day of the season last year, for example, I was kind of like, this sucks, you know. And I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, all the games over. I was like, wait, I got baseball for Windows. I've got Pearson. I've got strategy. I've got, you know, I've got all these. I could just start a game right now and be like, nope, I'm not
Yeah.
done watching baseball.
Aaron's a Mets fan. He says Mets win.
Mets
But yeah.
win.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You can have baseball all year round, and it's great because
it,
for me especially too,
yes,
because
sir.
all these folks down there they're blasting the American football, and it's like and it's actually funny. I find myself playing more baseball, a lot more baseball, digital or whatever baseball in the off season even than during baseball season. I do. I like really play it. It's like and hence the whole Super Bowl longer broadcasts and
The
stuff like
Super
that.
Bowl. Yeah,
So
it's. I mean, you know, I was disappointed the Reds didn't get past the first division, the wild card series last year, but they had to, they had to rely on the Mets losing just to get into the playoffs to begin with, and that had to be crazy, especially if you win and you got to see how the Mets do or something like that. It's like
right.
somebody said, "Oh, it's going to be like 1999 all over again," and like I mentioned 99. I'll go back and play Pure Sim on 99 with Pure Sim or Action PC. It's like the Reds either win the division or and make the playoffs. Heck, they made the World Series in '99. One replay I did
Hmm.
lost to the Texas Rangers in six, but you
But
know,
let me ask you a question,
yeah,
right? So as you're telling that story,
hmm
is it not real then? You know what
to
I mean?
me
It's real. Yeah,
it is real.
exactly. Exactly. And
I
so I
mean,
think that's where the line blurs between the games we play and the real game, right?
I
Um,
you mentioned 1990. I just did 1990 with Pure Sim. The
hmm.
Reds actually got knocked out of the playoffs by the Expos,
Mm.
who went on to win the World Series. They beat the Blue Jays.
And it's legit, right? It was legit.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's in the almanac.
Nice.
But
That is
now I'm
so
on
cool.
1990. That 71 replay has gone on for 20 years now. I'm in 1991.
Wow.
Yes.
That's cool.
Um, but
That is so cool.
it's that's the thing with Pure Sim. I feel like I'm somewhat of a broadcaster
Nothing wrong with
because
that.
I could sit and call a game, and it's like you know, heck, it just interests me because it's like I could listen to it. And it's like I can read the text. It's like he's out,
Hmm.
or I guess I could speed my speech up and it would be a lot more sufficient. But um,
Just do what you do. Just do you, man.
I
Do you.
mean, I got to show you how I do
I
it.
do this every night. I'm no broadcaster. I do this every night.
It's
You
like
know, I,
when
I don't care. I'm not these guys that can
when a home
broadcast.
team hits a home run. It's like I could say he swings in deep to left field and see you later.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
but that boom, boom, boom. You hear the fireworks,
Hmm.
and it's like and or with a visiting player, it's like let's say. Dobbins. Let's see. It's like with Ron Gant. The pitch to Gant. He swings, hits it deep to left field, and it is gone.
Right.
Ron Gant homers to left at 300 and something feet, and the Braves. I could just call it. But
Mm-hmm.
that narrator tells me who's at bat. It's like here's so and so and so. So he's over one tonight with a flyout.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
I like the trivia thing that Pearson does. That's kind
Oh,
of
I
neat.
love that. I'm
Oh,
hoping that Crash will put that into because it
I
used
got
to
a
be in the
little.
first strategy baseball, and I hope he puts it back because
I
it's
got a
great.
little trivia for you. Anybody can answer this if they wish.
All
If
right,
you've ever seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off,
I have.
I have a. This is a three-part. This is a three-part question.
Okay.
During the in the during the baseball scene, who was playing, who was at bat,
Oh my God.
and who was on base?
Oh my God. Really?
Yes.
Oh, Aaron. Well, let's see if people can answer that within the chat. And
All
you
right.
know who could answer here would be Tim if he was here. I can't. I have no
Tim
idea, man.
probably can nail it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, while you, while you guys think about that, I'm gonna run to the fridge.
All right. You're under the fridge.
I
So,
will be
got
right back.
all right. So, guys, what I have back up on the screen here is Dombrov baseball. We talked about it earlier, and I'm pleased to report that the new update brings some really, really excellent, needed improvements. Not that it was a bad game before, but this is such an excellent baseball game. You can try the free version. Play it as long as you want. It is, I guess, I don't know. I can't give a percentage. It's mostly functional, um, and it's a game I really, really, really recommend. The ball animation is still, w- what it is, and it's better. But I don't know. It's a cool game, and if you like it, I mean, you can create pretty much anything you can imagine in this thing. It's got almost 100 seasons for free. You can download and install and play. It automatically assigns the ballparks. I got to fix the Giants. There's no logo over there for them. I got to fix that. Ways you can do it. You can uh, all kinds of different ways you can play it. You can even alter ballpark effects and dice roll results for the park for the players. I'm just going over Dombrov a little bit here, Aaron, again, just to kind of
Yeah.
bring things full circle.
Did
Um,
anybody try to guess or?
Nobody tried to guess, buddy. So what's the answer?
All right. Here's the. This is
It's
actually
2:39 in the morning, dude. I
all
can't
right.
even think.
In Ferris Bueller's Day Off, in the baseball scene where Matthew Broderick's character and his buddy were at, it was Wrigley Field, 1985, in
Okay.
early June. The Chicago Cubs hosted the Atlanta Braves, and the pitcher was Lee Smith. The
Okay.
batter was Claudel Washington, and with Paul Zuvella on first.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where the "Hey Bada Bada" thing came from.
See, I just would have, I realized it would be too late, but I would just answer, okay, it was Cubs, so it had to be. I knew it wouldn't be, but the answer is always Ernie Banks when it's a Cubs question. So I don't know. I don't
Um,
know.
but yeah, um, I like to go on YouTube and listen to like, find old baseball games and listen to the radio or whatever. Sometimes the TV broadcast because this is where you find was it classic baseball or something like that. I
Classic
don't know if
baseball on the radio. Yeah.
that's one, but the other one is like all the TV feeds of games or something like that. They got like the stuff from the '90s and the '80s and the '70s or whatever it is.
Hmm.
But I think this is where you find baseball is on the classic baseball on the radio is going further or something like that.
So where they got those games actually
That's
is you can also find those games on the Internet Archive
hmm.
as well, and they've got tons. The Internet Archive is such a treasure. I did it one night here, baseball related. I'm going to do it again because there's lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff on the Internet Archive for
Nice to hear
baseball.
Mel Allen sometimes doing World
Oh, it's
Series
great.
games.
Oh, I got chills. I remember the first one
Oh,
because the oldest game on there, and it was really weird to hear right Lou Gehrig, right hearing Luke Babe Ruth was out of the game that day, but it was
yeah.
Lou Gehrig, and it was that 1934 game, and it was
Yankee
like it
Tiger.
was yeah, and it was so weird, right to hear him say, now batting Lou Gehrig, it's like wow,
That was Ty Tyson.
yeah. So, but it was just so cool to like hear this was like one of the immortals, the true immortals of the game. And up until that time, I never heard Gehrig's name announced except by Ernie Harwell in
Yes.
Baseball for Windows or Mel Allen or Kurt Gowdy in Old Time Baseball. But to
Hmm.
actually hear it in 1934 as he's going through the lineups, batting fourth, Lou Gehrig, and I'm like, whoa. And I literally got chills.
That was
It
Babe
was
Ruth last year
so
as a
cool.
Yankee in
Yes, he
34.
went to 1935 in that terrible dog and pony show when
Dog
he
and
was
Pony.
sent
That was just an attraction.
to the Boston Braves. Yeah, well, he punctuated his career by hitting, I think it was 3 home runs
Three
that day
homers, yeah,
at
against the
Forbes
Pirates.
Field, and the last one almost went out of Forbes Field, which was hard to do.
I mean, I
So,
heard what was it? I think it was Red Barber did an interview with Babe Ruth when before he died,
mhm.
and you could tell his throat was just killing him.
Well, he had throat cancer.
He
Yeah,
had throat cancer. He just this, he just it's, but it's like to hear like I never thought I'd ever hear Babe Ruth speak ever,
right.
and but it's like you mentioned that 34 game with the Yankees. That was the last game of the season, I think, too. If you listen closely, you can hear like a ticker in the background.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like they wouldn't go to like commercials. Ty would just talk all the way through it. He would do like inning summaries, and he would do like, you know, it's just, or he would do all the sponsors before the game. You
Right.
know, stop off at your nearest gas station, or it seemed, like I remember one evening I was so bored and I was just looking through YouTube. I found an old, I think it was a Cardinals San Francisco Giants game from '62 with Stan Musial still playing,
Mm-hmm.
and it starts with Ken Coleman, who normally is a Red Sox announcer. It was from the Coleman Files, but it was Harry and Jack Buck, and you hear like the lineups, you hear all the, but after it's like you hear Harry doing ads for Tarleton cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Tarleton cigarettes,
Yep.
you know, and then or they'll do ads for like a zoo or something like that, or that it's. I mean, and then it just evolved over time. I mean, now you got with the MLB app. Of course, man, I was so stoked for opening day. I could not wait. I was like, oh, bring it on! And the first thing I hear is Skeens gets knocked out of the first inning by the Mets,
Yeah, that was
and
that
I'm
was
like, ow, you know.
yeah, that was a
I
bit
told my
painful.
dad, I said, what the hell happened to Paul Skeens? He's like, what? I said, he didn't get out of the first inning today.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, Dad's like, oh, you might be hurt. I'm like, nah, really not.
Yeah. But
Opening,
you're going back about classic baseball on the radio, and I'm really thankful for that channel. It's a great channel. Whoever runs that, I think it's just super cool, and
they
yeah, it's
stream
just
on
great
occasion
stuff.
too. I
What's
think
that?
they stream on occasion too. Like they'll,
Yeah, I've gone into a couple live streams. I don't know if I don't think it's somebody from America that does it though. I'm not sure. But
uh,
anyhow, just really cool. And I've seen I forget the person's name. Well, he just goes by classic baseball. I've seen him in a couple broadcasts. I think there was one. He was like at Kurt Bergelin's or something like that or whatever. But I love that channel. It's a great
I
channel.
do too. I mean,
I
like,
mean, the nice thing the only reason I tend to listen more to or would of those games on Internet Archive is because they're arranged chronologically. But classic baseball radio is great. It really
yeah,
is.
they got games going back from 30. What is the first time on radio to probably,
Not first time on radio, but
oh
they go back
wow,
to 1934. So the first game on
30.
radio was 1921 KDKA. They don't go
The
back that far.
That was Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, yep. And
Uh,
Pittsburgh KDKA. So trivia for you. So KDKA is unique among all radio stations for one reason. What do you think that is?
the first station to host
Besides that,
baseball.
this is not even
Oh,
baseball related.
good question.
So the
Because
answer is it's the only radio/television station east of the Mississippi River whose call letters begin with the letter K. That's a west thing. But KDKA in
wow,
Pittsburgh is the only one. Everybody else in the east is W whatever.
W whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but KDKA is the only eastern station with that call letters.
What is it
So
they
that's
say?
kind of cool.
St. Louis is the gateway of the West, or whatever it
And they're
is.
KMOX.
KMOX. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's I kind of noticed that too, because like
And KTLA announced the
KTLA.
Beatles, and that kind of stuff. But yeah, so Pittsburgh is the only eastern radio station with a K as its call letters. I think that's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yay,
That,
Pittsburgh!
but
Go
yeah, like
Pittsburgh!
I would hear like these some I don't know who released these, but they would have these like they were either records or highlight tapes of like a championship season for us, like let's say the '90 Reds or the '64 Cardinals or whatever whereabouts thereof, and it's like it's the announcers talking about moments of the year, or something like that, and they'd play the radio feeds. I mean, you'd hear like Marty and Joe, or you'd hear Jack and Harry, or something like that, and it's there were I think it was either tapes or vinyl records, whatever it is, but I like to give me the full game any day of the week, and I'll sit here and listen to it
Yeah,
as much as possible. It's just like back when the game was longer. Back when you didn't have all the stupid rules.
right.
I could nag about that all day long, but I won't because we've ridden that horse to death. Pretty much.
Absolutely. Well,
The,
guys, we have come up to the.
it's about
It's about that time.
well
We've
to
been on here
three.
for 3 hours. So, Aaron, thank you for coming on, man. I
You're
appreciate it.
welcome. You're
Yeah, I'm
welcome.
going to be shutting down here soon. This was a work day, but just quick changes in the channel. My new schedule is going to be next week. I'm still this coming Monday. I'm off, but I'm going to be Monday through Friday, 2 to 10. So game's going to be later during the week, but I have off Saturdays and Sundays. Don't have to be at work till Monday at 2 in the afternoon. So it's going to
Mm.
change the schedule, but I think it's going to be better because I can still do late night baseball. And I don't have to be at work till 2 in the afternoon. So should be good. So, Aaron, thank you for coming in. And Eden, thank you coming in from Torquay. Paul, thank you for coming in, buddy. And glad I was able to sort of demonstrate that Pocket Pennant Run is working for you. Before I finish the rest of my thank yous, I do want to say that hopefully tomorrow I'll be showing Payoff Pitch, Beta 3, unless Dana drops another one before I even get a chance to show you guys that. New addition on that one is Ballparks, which is super, super cool and a bunch of other stuff. Um, Going to do more strategy baseball, see if Crash is really, really cool. Um, that, with uploading strategy baseball, I've got to, if I can't do it, I'm going to have to ask John DFW to take down the old strategy baseballs. That's what Crash asked, is to take down the old one.
Is
And
he releasing this game for free again, or is he?
no,
Yeah.
it's good if he's it could be. And thank you to Aaron Reed. There we go. Um, no, he's
You're
thinking
welcome.
about going commercially with it. Thank you, Samuel Smith, for coming in, buddy. Appreciate you, D. Smith. Thank you, and we'll get back to you in a second here, buddy. Rabbit Wolverine. Thank you. P Flying High. Thank you, man. Keep flying
Big
high.
Braves fan.
How about it? He says, how about them Braves? VL was in here, helped me figure out an issue with Dombrov that used to drive me crazy. So help me fix that. So awesome, awesome stuff. Man, we had a good Sports Time Machine was in here tonight. Guys, please subscribe to that channel. Dwayne Martz was here. AP was here. Thank you. Bernie Strom was here. My partner in crime. Samuel Smith. First one in the ballpark tonight. How about that? So,
He was through the turnstiles when nobody was here. All you could hear was the
absolutely.
concourse music.
Absolutely. So, probably going to be doing a couple, maybe a game or two where we're going to be doing either old time baseball or APA PC or something. I don't know. I want to get back to some of the games I've been playing. And we're going to return to 1971 in action PC baseball. And then whatever the hell I have going on in Out of the Park, I don't even remember. So until then, Aaron, thank you
You're
very much.
welcome.
All good to have you on. And everybody, family, until the next time, we will see you around the batting cage. What do you say, Randy Savage?
We'll see you soon, everybody. Ooh, yeah.
All right. Good night, everyone.
And